Fellow congregation members of the church, as the evil, rotten, decrepit, low-down, despicable, monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a motherfucker like this trying to take over. Pardon my language, but it must be said.
It's another beautiful day to be a Raider. Draped in the silver and black.
Happy Black Friday!
I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish.
I'm the Commish Jr.
Coming to you live from Hardcore John's Live Studios. Deep behind the enemy line.
This is Raider Reaction.
Silver and Black Theater on a Black Friday. And what other opponent would we bring you on a Black Friday on a Queefs Week besides a great historical game in the rivalry of the Raiders Queefs? So we dust off our silver and black time machine and we go back to when the 90s died.
Away from KC. Napoleon Kaufman trips down as he crosses the 10. Getting across the 20 and Kaufman remaining on his feet. Down the sideline and out around the 32-yard line. A pickup of 26 on the return.
And that's been a problem for the Kansas City Chiefs right off the bat. They haven't been able to get deep kickoffs and good coverage on their kickoffs, and they're always giving up field position right off the bat.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs will try to beat their former teammate, Rich Gannon, to go to the playoffs. And how about that ovation he got when his name was announced to the crowd? Couldn't even believe he's wearing a silver and black uniform to get that kind of rise from this Arrowhead Stadium crowd.
Here you go, you've got
First and 10 from the 32. First play from scrimmage. Motion man is Tim Brown.
Gannon coming back to Arrowhead. The Chiefs own their own destiny in this game. This is the last game of the 7, week 17.
Out to the 40-yard line.
last game of the season.
Last game of the season, week 17. This is the 99 season. So this is actually in
The problems right now at tackle.
2000.
Barry Sims steps in for Mo Collins, out with a knee injury, and Darrell Ashmore, a journeyman, steps in for Lincoln Kennedy, who misses his first NFL game with a calf injury. Backs and receivers. The running game was held in check last week, and that lost to San Diego. It is the top-ranked running attack in the NFL.
It's not
On a 2nd and 2,
super
Brown in
old, but
motion.
it's super new.
No. This is an older game. This is an older game for sure.
When was this game?
Dan Williams met
This was the 99 season, week 17 of the 99 season.
defensively for Kansas City.
Chiefs need to win this game to make the playoffs.
Leslie O'Neal is now just one sack shy of passing Lawrence Taylor on the all-time list for 6th. Williams, McLaughlin, and Hicks, Donnie Edwards, Patton, and Thomas, the linebackers, and in the secondary, Chris Dishman had a dream day against Oakland in the first matchup. Kansas City and that come-from-behind win on the West Coast. In the backfield, Ritchie and Crockett, 2 tight end set on a 3rd and 4. Kansas City pointing.
I have no idea because they thought Elvis Gerbach was the man, Bob. Don't you remember?
Major confusion on the offense, and this is what playing in a hostile environment's all about.
They thought Gerbach was the man, Elvis.
The Oakland Raiders haven't been able to keep their composure offensively.
So we'll step aside. Oakland on its first drive of the day, early in the first quarter.
This is January 2nd, 2000.
Brown in motion, Gannon in the pocket. Lost the football.
Oh,
Man.
Leslie O'Neal came firing in the entire defensive line, including McLaughlin.
that did not look good at all.
And the Raiders will be forced to punt. Incomplete pass is the call.
That did not look good.
Not
a good start, man. He went right around the left tackle.
But right here, you cannot leave a
Yeah,
backup
like
tackle
right
in a situation
around,
like this
comes
without
over,
help.
swats
Barry
the
Sims
ball.
one-on-one with Leslie O'Neal. That'll be a key matchup the entire afternoon.
Leo Aragusa
Yes, they
punt
do,
away.
Melissa.
Lamar
Yes, they
Vanover
do.
is waiting.
It's the showdown for the AFC West.
From the 16, Vanover has a lane.
Oh my God.
Vanover has the kicker to
Really?
beat. Vanover,
Get out of here.
touchdown, Kansas City.
Kansas City has always had some fast-ass return men. That is for
84
sure.
yards on the return, and a sea of
Not
red
all special teams are
on
the
their
best.
feet.
Stop them.
They've always had them flashy return guys.
But still, wide open alley. When he got through there, he just had to beat the kicker.
I'm going to run it right up the gut. That's exactly what Tamar Vanover does. He doesn't hesitate. He
Yeah,
takes
that
the ball,
was,
gets it right in the middle of the field, makes a quick move. He's gone down the field.
Not a
All
good
he
start
has
there.
is
Not a
the
good
punter to beat.
start.
He's gone for the touchdown. One-on-one in the open field. The punter's not going to catch it.
Not one of my favorite starts.
Pete Stoyanovich adds the extra point.
Old Stoyanovich.
Kansas City hasn't even
There's a
run an
name you haven't
offensive
heard for
play
a
yet.
minute.
They do have a 7-0 lead against Oakland. But 4 weeks ago, he brought one back. 80 yards against Denver for a score. John Baker, the kickoff specialist. And here's Kaufman. Across the 25, stumbles forward to the 29. 17-yard return, Mike Mislowski, the tackle.
I talked about it before. Gunther Cunningham said, go like no one's blocking in front of you. Have them lay down. 5 white jerseys, only 2 red jerseys blocking. Tamar Vanover says, forget it. I'll take it on myself. He doesn't get a block by anybody until the end. It's a sprint race. Gets a block there, but he's not going to catch him. But Tamar Vanover, eyes up front. He takes off running and just hits it right in the gut. That's how you got to return
Man.
it. Hit it right in the middle of the team.
That wasn't good.
And just outrun the punter.
Not good.
Touchdown.
He had a
Kansas City.
wide open alley.
Vanover went untouched for the score. And now Oakland in a 7-0 hole with a 1st and 10 to the 29.
7-0.
Oh my gosh, interception, really?
James Hastings.
Get the hell out of here.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the way you want to start things off.
Really? Really?
The
Oh
Raiders
my
don't
gosh.
know what hit them.
It's already gone 14-0.
Gruden's pissed. He's like, what in the holy hell is going on?
It's already almost 14-0 in not even 5 minutes, really?
on this squad has lost to the Raiders
Quit
at home,
punching that
and they just have an air of confidence that they're going out there just dominating this team as they've dominated this team.
Really?
I mean, when you go out and play like this right off the bat, your offense hasn't taken a snap, you're up 14-0.
Stoyanovich again.
14-0.
James Hasty.
Yeah, not good.
7th interception of the season. Barefooted
This
kicker.
is
Kicks it off
New Year?
again. High kick.
This is
This one
New Year?
sailing towards the end zone, and Kaufman will be forced to down it. John Gruden was hoping his team
He
could
does
finish
not
off
look
at 8-8.
happy.
Finish on an up note.
Does
Their
not.
8 losses this season have come by a total of 34.
This game was January 2nd, 2000. This is week 17 of the 1999 season. The Raiders are eliminated, but the Chiefs must win to get into the playoffs. If the Chiefs lose this game, the Raiders end their season.
An 11-yard gain for Wheatley.
So there was question if the Raiders had anything to play for, if the rivalry of Kansas City would be enough for them.
Just pound the football with big Tyrone Wheatley, and it gets the offense going. You need to get settled down. Hey, guys, let's do what we do best. We're the #1 rush team in the NFL. Let's start pounding the football instead of throwing it on first down.
How about Wheatley? 11
Alright,
yards on
let's
that
see
carry. He had
what Raiders
13
can do.
yards all of last week.
That's a little rough start. A little rough start there.
Not the start that I wanted to see,
Off of play
but
action. Cannon will throw it too high.
Cannon's off out of the gate here.
Intended receiver James Jett. He was covered by James Hasty. And Jett is down. Very slow to get
Really?
up. Lying at the
it's
40-yard
already
line.
14-0. Did we really need an
Kansas City
injury?
offense looking to get its first crack at the Oakland defense, but their team already in front, 14-0. You get loosened up, you get ready to go, and you see some wild things to start playing.
You know what's crazy?
They'll take it any way
They
they
have
can get it.
14
Kansas City
and
trying
they
to
haven't even
qualify
had
for
their
the
quarterback
playoffs
out
on 2nd
yet.
and 10. On a pitch out for
I know.
Little shake and bake move
Can't
didn't
get
work.
much better start than
They
that
crossed the
for
30-yard line and got to the
Team
line of scrimmage. No gain. Donnie Edwards
Since the
on the tackle.
quarterback's not really getting any.
Want to mention Leslie O'Neal. We talk about
Practice
needed
right
1
now,
sack
so
to pass Lawrence
He's
Taylor.
just standing on the sideline like, let me get in. Let me do
It was
something.
ruled an incomplete pass earlier. He came oh so close to that sack, and the way this Kansas City defense has started out, they'll probably get it by the end of the day.
Knowing Leslie, I spent a year with Leslie when I spent a year in San Diego, and he's the type of guy that he'll go in and body for that sack. He's not going to get it, but the way he's played over the years, he's gotten better, and he's become a perfect fit for this defense. A veteran player, been around a lot, and now he's taking the place of Dan Williams, the injured player leaving the field right now. He'll be replaced by Tom Barnes.
So Williams is limping off. James Jett was able to walk off on his own power, replaced by Terry Mickens on the Oakland offense, which now faces a 3rd and 10. In the 90s,
down.
the defense scores a touchdown. Look at that record, especially against Oakland, undefeated. They've already done that.
Sit down.
3rd and 10. Kenny Shed in as a receiver for Oakland. Gannon, the former Chief,
Put
sends
some
ground
points
in
up
motion.
on the board.
Back to throw it.
Oh my gosh.
Gannon
He's in
looks
trouble
down.
again.
Gannon
Oh
trying to
my
unload it.
gosh.
Donnie Edwards got him.
Man,
down
they're
low.
looking rough out of the gate here.
Richie. And the
Not
Raiders will
looking
punt
good
again.
at all.
There is a flag on the field. Right at the 35-yard line. Chiefs will turn it down.
An eligible downfield prior to the pass. 63 on the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So
Fourth
Walt
down.
Coleman
And we also got
lets us in on the
flag
penalty, but of course Kansas City will turn it down and Oakland will punt once again. Aragus, the 46-yarder, but maybe that gave Vanover too much room.
Out punting the coverage, and that's key.
Yeah, don't kick the van over again. There's the hint.
Cover the ball.
Kick it to
I'll tell you right now,
someone else.
Tamar Vanover is fired up. He can't wait to get his hands on this ball.
Already ripped one off for a touchdown. Now has some room
Yeah,
to
that's
work with again. From the 25, going
Yeah.
to the sideline,
Ain't happening
and forced out of
twice,
bounds as he
Vanover.
crossed the 35. Johnny Harris was the man that forced him out. Eye on today, if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, the Seattle Jets
Raiders
contest,
defense.
3-0. Seahawks. Handoff. Bam Morris. First play from scrimmage for this Kansas
Bam
City
Morris.
offense. And it comes at
Wow.
10:47 left.
There's a name I
In
haven't
the
heard
first,
in a minute.
4-yard gain. Greg Biekert the tackle. Elvis Gerback, 4-0
Gerback.
against the Raiders.
So they thought Gerbach was the man. So they cast off Rich Gannon, who just comes and becomes the league MVP, sets records for 300-yard passing games in a season, and leads his team to a Super Bowl. As the Chiefs still have never seen one since 1969 when they won their one and only Super Bowl championship. So seems like they made a little bit of a mistake there with Mr. Gannon, thinking Gerbach was the man. Well, Elvis never got shit done.
Last week in that loss to Seattle, just 72 yards on the ground. Alexander, Rison, and Gonzalez, the receivers and tight end. This will be a 3rd and 4 for Kansas City. In a 3-receiver set, dime package for Oakland from the 44. Put it on the ground. Tony Richardson. The first down. Richardson into Oakland territory across the 30-yard line.
This is not a good start.
Not a good start at all.
Didn't get many opportunities in pass.
Raiders need to wake the hell up.
He's getting them now with Gunther Cunningham running the show.
What they do is they pull Will Shields, their Pro Bowl guard, around. Tony Richardson stays in his hip pocket. As soon as he makes his block, he gets to the corner and breaks containment and turns it upfield. And that's where you get your projects. If you can get to the corner, you can get a big 300-pounder out in front of you. You can cut down the edge, get that edge, hit it and get it. Tony Bennett does. Big play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pitch it again.
They
This
just keep
time it's
running.
Van Mars breaking tackles and brought down at the 21.
Run like he had purpose there.
Smith, the linebacker, could not haul him down to the grass. As we take a look at the Oakland defense. Lance Johnstone coming off a 3-sack performance last week in the loss to San Diego. Double figures for the 2nd straight year. Russell, Maryland, and Harris across that line. Travian Smith getting the start for Richard Harvey, who's out with the flu. Allen, Mincy, Newman, and Woodson, who's going to his 2nd straight Pro Bowl. Bennett sidestepping initially and then upended as he tried to get it to the 20-yard line and probably give him forward progress for a pickup of 2. Eric Barton along with Travian Smith making the stop.
Now, and this game is set up perfectly for the Kansas City Chiefs offense. As long as they have the lead, they can run their type of offense. Pound the football, rotate your backs, keep them fresh. That's Gunther Cunningham's style. And right now, that's what they're doing. They want to wear down the front 4 of the Oakland Raiders so they can own the trenches in the 4th quarter.
They are yet to pass as they face a 2nd and 8. Wallace.
Come on, guys.
He got 4 on that right side of the line, and Eric Barton with the tackle. Well, they're making no bones about it. They are running the football, already up 14-0. And you're right, this is playing right into the hands of the Kansas City offense. Look at the numbers this season. That's what's probably the most impressive part about this KC offense. They don't have that one top-notch running back that's going to carry the load. They get it done with a bunch of running backs.
And what it does is it keeps everybody fresh and keeps everybody in the ballgame. In case there's an injury, somebody can come in.
Burback throwing to the first down, incomplete on a 3rd and 4. Bam Morris was matched up with Greg Beekert. He took the shot, couldn't hold on. And we will see Pete Stoyanovich come on and attempt a field goal.
It's a nice play by Greg Beekert. He's the only guy of the front 7 that stays in for every play. Nickel situation, short yardage, first down, whatever. Makes a nice play here. A great stick by Beekert. He's had a heck of a year. He's led the team in tackles again this year.
Stoyanovich over 100 points for the 9th time in his 11-year NFL career. This will be a 33-yard attempt for Stoyanovich. And he puts it through to add to the Kansas City lead.
17-0. Dug themselves a very large early hole.
Here in the first quarter.
Of the
What the heck
Raiders.
is that thing?
Kansas City with a 17-0
What the heck was that
lead,
mascot for the
7:31 to play in the
Chiefs?
first quarter, an 8-play, 46-yard drive, all of those yards on the ground. And ends up 33-yard field goal for Pete Stoyanovich. This will be the 4th Raider possession. Kaufman lets it take a bounce. Out of bounds, flag comes down, so the Raiders will have good field position to start out this drive.
Kickoff out of bounds. Ball will be placed 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down at the 40.
Inauspicious start for Rich Gannon in his return to Kansas City. Picked off by James Hasty in a 34-yard interception return. One of the touchdowns that we've seen, the other coming from Tamarick Vanover on an 84-yard return. Vanover left the game, though.
Raiders
Injured
need to
left
get
ankle. His
something
return
on the
is
board.
questionable. Dan Williams on the defensive line for KC, also an injured ankle. Questionable return. Handoff. Tyrone Wheatley spinning his way forward, going up the middle to the 44-yard line, a gain 4. But now let's get an NFL Today report. Let's head to New York and Jim Nance.
And there it is. Second and 6.
Jim, a victory for Kansas City today, coupled with a Seattle loss against
What's up,
the Jets.
CL?
The Chiefs will be the
What's up,
AFC
everybody?
first
Thanks for joining us on a Black Friday. I'm the Commish.
I'm the Commish
playoffs
Jr.
anyway.
This is Silver and Black Theater, as this is January 2nd, 2000.
And it looks to be
The
enough
start
for
of a
first
new
down.
decade. And the
Reggie
start
Tongue with the tackle, a 6-yard
of a
gain on
resurgence
that
for the
little
Silver and Black. After the 90s was not our decade,
And a look at the AFC playoff
the
picture.
Chiefs dominated us. And the Chiefs, in a must-win situation in this game, they win, and they're in the playoffs. So they came out strong, obviously, with a big,
You should earn your way into the playoffs. Each of these teams, they know what's at stake.
big 17-0 lead here.
First and 10 for Oakland.
Lost with special teams and turnovers.
I
Tyrone Wheatley.
To Wheatley. Wheatley has a first down as he's met at the 40-yard line.
Gannon was going to get sacked
They
again.
picked up 10.
Oh, don't get it.
Tracy Walker forcing him out of bounds.
Simmer down now,
Get
simmer
another
down.
NFL Today report. Back to Jim Nance in New York.
Focus on getting out of there, not getting
This was Gannon's first season. Yes,
Oh, this was the first season.
Ryan.
First season for the Raiders, or?
Yeah, he
All
came
right,
from
Jim,
Kansas
thank you.
City.
They did not give
He was
Wheatley
on the
a
Chiefs
favorable
before that. He started with the Vikings.
Just inches shy of
Went to
first
Kansas
down.
City, but Kansas City thought Gerback was the man, so they let Rich go. Rich came to the Raiders and became a freaking league MVP.
And
There's a
Crockett
flag.
will go the distance, but this one will be
There's a
called
flag
back.
when he's.
Crockett's like, damn it, I was gone.
From right tackle Daryl Ashmore. When you get
Because the
tackles
Chiefs
that haven't
were
played in a
trying,
hostile
because
environment,
they-
they can't hear the quarterback's cadence and they try to get off the count.
Crockett's like,
False
damn it,
start, 64, offense, 5 yards.
I was wheeling.
Second down.
You got the right guard on that one, but it was the right tackle Ashmore that
Best two
moved.
guys.
And this is a situation you can't hear in these situations. There's nothing that can keep you on time except looking at the ball. If you can't hear, look at the ball. You know the snap count. Concentrate on the football.
So instead of second and inches, it's second and a long 5. We can call it 6. Wheatley in the backfield with Richie. Brown in motion.
Could have just been a
Play action.
touchdown.
Gannon forced to throw it quickly. And Richie has his helmet knocked off. Reggie
Where are their
Tongue laid him out.
hands?
Incomplete.
John Ritchie's probably bleeding.
And that was a clean hit. That's telling you, you're in my backyard. You come in my area, and you will pay the price. Right there, it's a clean hit with the shoulder.
Oh, that would have been a flag bigger than shit now today. That would have been a flag. You better believe it. 150% that would have been a flag.
It's a different football team. Last week, they were not ready to play. They started off slow. Dr. Cunningham said, we got to start off fast on
People
defense.
watching this at this time probably
Great receiver
this
set
would've
for the
been fun,
Raiders.
too.
On third down.
Oh no, not back in this day. That was just a good hit back then. They would have showed that on the freaking highlight reels.
Pocket lofts it in the air, and Brown didn't see it. Flag comes down. There was
The heck
some
happened
contact
there?
with James Hastings.
It looks like he tried swatting it down, but he didn't see it.
Brown flailed the arms. Who initiated the contact? Kansas City.
Swatting on
Kansas City.
I'm not first.
Holding, 44, defense, 5 yards, automatic, first down.
It was only 5 yards.
Well, they've got Eric Warfield on the
David's in there like, what the hell's going on?
He's got him by the shoulder. He won't let him go.
That's funny.
Right on the outside.
Other side of the field.
Yeah, you think that's not holding, like pushing him,
Brought down Kenny Shedd at the
grabbing
line of
his
scrimmage.
jersey, and then like.
This is
Second year out of
the 1999 season, January 2nd, 2000.
extended time because
Just after the first year, final game of the season, Chiefs need this game to make the playoffs. If the Raiders beat them, they are eliminated. Raiders are already out of the playoffs, but they're just fighting for pride and to end the season of the Kansas City Chiefs.
every which angle, and
The Chiefs dominated us in the 90s, so this was a big game psychologically for the Raiders as a
I'm
whole.
very impressed with Leslie O'Neal. His 14th season in the NFL had a big.
I do remember Jacked Up. I loved Jacked Up. That guy got jacked up. I love that. That was like pre-Come On Man.
Barry Sims had been the starting right guard until Will Collins got injured. They moved him to left tackle. The advantage has to go to Leslie O'Neal.
2nd and 9. Gannon under a rush.
Man, Gannon, they are bringing the heat.
Man, he can't get anything
And then the
off.
rest of the Kansas City defense came in to finish him off.
Now in this play, it was just a cross dog on the outside. Oakland couldn't pick it up. Marcus Patton comes around. Watch him coming around. He's going to come around and get the sack. No one's there to pick him up. Excellent blitz by the Kansas City Chiefs. Rich Gannon doesn't have a chance. With both of these tackles down,
They're coming after him. I mean, Kansas City, their season's on the line right here, so you know. They are
trying their
They're doing their damnedest
They lost 5
to win this game.
Picks up another sack.
If they weren't
That's a
trying their
tremendous
hardest,
number.
then
At the
I mean,
linebacker
Kansas City
position,
is not
timeout has been called.
known for their, playoff
Kansas
prowess
City
either.
uses its first
You know,
timeout.
they've
Oakland
obviously
early in the game, and the
haven't
clock
been
stopped
to a
before
Super Bowl
24
or
left
won a Super
in
Bowl
the
since
first.
1969.
This is a 3rd and 14.
And this is even at home. You're at home with the, division. Oh, God, again.
you're kidding me, right? Really?
Come on, Rich.
Gannon with his 2nd INT of the day.
Oh my
And this one
God.
has not even been
That's
close.
his second interception.
And for Rich Gannon, he should run with his football. He's being pressured.
I got a feeling the Raiders are going to get it together this game, so.
Yeah, run with it. Run with that ball. You could have gotten a lot of
Chris
yards.
Dishman just breaks on the ball. There's no way that
If he
ball's going to
ran
get to
with
Tim
that
Brown
and
anyway. It's
gotten
going to be thrown
yards,
in the
they
dirt and the
probably could
turf.
have won with
But
him
Chris
on fourth
Dishman
down.
comes up with the interception. That's a
Possibly
sweet
get
play
that.
by Dishman.
So Gannon now 3 of 9 throwing the football. 2 interceptions, and Dishman has his
He only got 3
of the
passes.
season.
Really.
Bam Morris.
Well, I wouldn't show you a loss on Black Friday, Darius.
And just about everybody in that Oakland defense came over to make sure that
We don't show losses on Black Friday, so you know when you tune in, you're going to get to see some Raider touchdowns, and you're going to get to see a Raider W on your Friday night when you tune in every Black Friday on Silver and Black Theater.
And it's good to see him rebound, but I'll tell you one thing. He probably loves to see the silver and black so far. This is his first year with the Kansas City Chiefs. His 2nd time facing the Oakland Raiders. He has 3 turnovers.
On 2nd and 7, trying to push the pile forward, Bam Morris, but he's tackled by Greg Beekert.
Bam Morris, man, there's a name you haven't heard for a minute.
NFL Today
It's almost the
report.
end of
We'll
the
keep you
first, and
updated
the
here
Raiders
today.
got
Here's Jim
nothing.
Nance.
Kansas City got 17.
Got nothing going yet. I got a feeling we're going to get something going here. First quarter, you got about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. 3:18, ticking down.
17-0 our score here in Kansas City with 3:12 left in the first. And a 3-receiver set for Elvis Gerback to work with.
Gerback.
7, Joe Horn
Freaking
shoots into the
Elvis.
game.
I can't believe they went with Elvis over Gannon.
Here's Gerback stepping up.
Gerback gets smacked.
Grady
Yeah,
Jackson
he's
was the man
not
applying
doing
the
much
pressure.
better than
Incomplete.
Gannon. He
And
is
Kansas
not
City
even
will
the one
punt
who
the
got
football.
those 2 touchdowns.
Grady Jackson one-on-one with Dave Zott. Grady Jackson is a load. They have him at 6'2", 325, but he looks like he's about 370 pounds.
That would have been a flag right there, too. Driving through, putting the quarterback in the ground. Now they'd call a flag on that.
Don't give him the shortest route through the middle.
Daniel Pope.
There's a lot of plays that should have been flagged.
Oh!
It blocked! Oh my gosh!
Score, Kenny Shedd.
Kenny Shedd.
Raiders needed a big
Oh
play,
my
and they
God.
There you go. Touchdown, Raiders.
There's their first score.
There was the spark we needed.
Coach, the
That's what we need.
team for the Kansas City Chiefs stayed out extra after the game. I very rarely see that when a punt
Special
team stays out,
teams.
practices punts and covers
3
punts.
phases of the
One
game.
As an entire
Look
unit.
at
They
that.
knew they had problems up front against the
Boom.
Raiders. Punt,
Boom.
and
Right
now-
into his hands.
He
They
caught
come
it in
storming there.
midair.
Not just one guy, 3, 4, 5 guys in the middle, all
He
white
had to
jerseys
push
right
through
there
all
to
of them.
block the punt.
He catches
It was
it,
recovered
he
by Kenny
stumbles
Shedd
a
for a
little.
touchdown.
Marquise
If
Walker
it
was the
wasn't
man.
Marquise Walker was the one that got through and got it.
Unable to do
If it
anything
wasn't
on the
for that
offensive
block,
end, but
Probably
off
would
of
have.
special teams, they get the score. And Joe
Bam, and just like that.
Extra point.
Almost missed that field
Joe
goal.
I
Nettie
think-
will kick it off for Oakland, and Joe Horn is in the game for Kansas City as the return man for the injured Tamarick Vanover out with the left ankle.
Finally get to kick it again.
Take a bounce. Horn has blazing speed. Let's see what he can do. Here's Horn cutting it back.
Might have the speed, but he doesn't.
Kansas City, man, they've always got a fast-ass return guy that you've always got to worry about. They always have. Even back then, it was Vanover. It was always somebody.
They might have.
Freaking Chiefs.
They got a fast.
Now they got Hill. It's always somebody.
Runners fast, but they
Nice job
ain't got
on
the moves
Marquise
to
Wall.
get through there.
Another look at it. And Kenny Shedd, Johnny on the spot, picks it up, scores a touchdown.
Frank Gans Jr., the special teams coach.
He didn't really
Of course,
need
his
any
dad,
blockers.
Frank Gans.
No,
Sr.,
that's big special teams play right there. Big special teams play.
Donnell
After
Bennett
he
in the
got that
backfield
ball
with
out of
movement
midair.
before the play even happens.
He was like,
Left
I
side
got
of
this.
that
There's no one
Kansas
in
City
front of me.
offensive
Dante Hall, there was another one. I know there's a whole list of them,
False
man.
start, 88.
It's like they're just cloning these guys.
Still first down.
Gonzalez, the first Kansas City tight end to be selected for the Pro Bowl, made a mistake here.
way before he snapped the ball.
Second penalty for Kansas City. And penalties have been a problem this season for the Chiefs, including last week against Seattle.
11 penalties last night.
About
First
10
and 15.
now.
Bennett gets the carry, running straight into the line. And pushed forward to the 25. So everybody on that Kansas City offensive line trying to get involved to give Donnell Bennett some extra yardage.
What's my opinion on the move to
And it
Vegas?
should have been a gain of 2, but the offensive lineman
Obviously,
kept their feet moving, moved the
I would
ball,
like
pushed
that
the
we
ball.
stay in
Greg
Oakland.
Beekert had a one-on-one shot, had perfect
However,
Donnell Bennett with a 2-yard gain, and could
something
not
should have
bring
been
him down.
done
Here's 54.
long
But you're
before
told to push
now.
the pile, keep him moving, get that extra yard, keep it going.
And I'm all in favor of us going wherever we don't have to play on
Flag
dirt
comes down
anymore.
on a second and 10.
Yeah, that would be nice if we don't have to.
Lance Johnstone came firing in. Off of that
Exactly, we're the last multi-use field in the league. It's somewhat embarrassing and pathetic that one of the most storied franchises in the NFL is relegated to playing on dirt, that our kicker has to kick game-winning field goals at the end of games from dirt. We are the pinnacle of fantasy. We are the pinnacle of NFL football. The pinnacle of professional football worldwide. The NFL. And the fact that even one team out of 32 would play on a field that is partially dirt is completely absurd.
James Harris was the man who got a piece of it. And
Absurd.
Now 0 of 3 throwing the football.
In my
If I'm
opinion.
running this offense,
So,
I've already
am I-
beat 'em up offensively in the offensive line, just smash mouth football. Why stop on second
I guess
down?
I'm
Get them
just
to third and one where you can just beat 'em up severely.
pro
You gotta throw the
progress.
ball, second down, go long
I'm
with
not
the ball.
pro Vegas or anti-Oakland or any of that. I'm just pro whatever is best for the franchise moving forward.
Stepping
Oh, he
forward
gets it.
and brought down. Greg Beekert was the man that had to wrestle himself free and ended up falling down to the turf.
And no one picks up Greg Beekert on this blitz. Nice stunt by the front line right there. See the X's? The guy's going in front of him. He just comes around. It's a T-Mac stunt. No one touches Greg Beekert. Albert Gerback saw it out of the side of his eye.
We got Shalom Luani, Michael. He's going to be the guy that steps in. You're not going to see Nelson there after this season. Nelson fought for his spot to get it this season, and he's definitely not going to carry it into next season. Somebody's going to take his spot for sure.
In the backfield as Richie shifts over. Wheatley will get the carry.
Tyrone Wheatley.
With a head of steam, he
Wheatley
tried to
was
hit
a
that
banger.
line hard as he picked up 4
Almost
to
the end
the
of the
30-yard line.
first.
Tom Bart will be given credit for the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 6. This is the first quarter alone. 2 returns
First
for
quarter
touchdowns for
alone.
Kansas City.
I mean, look at that
Raiders
action.
have a return for a touchdown. Not much in
Two
way of
returns for
offense so far.
touchdown.
No, in a game like
Punt
this,
and an
defense usually
interception.
leads you. Defense
Raiders,
gets you
one return
championships.
for a
In
touchdown.
big games, defense
Punt.
usually comes up with the big plays.
We don't have
Offense
to make
catches up with
40
something.
yards. What is it, like 34 or something?
Yeah, it's not been the best start out of the gate. Little pitch to Kaufman.
Towards the sideline, the football was jarred loose, but he was able to cross the marker. And a new
I thought that was.
to work with is Derek Thomas. had the pursuit on the sideline.
Oh, Derek Thomas. He's
That's
still
what they like to do with
kicking.
Napoleon Kaufman. Get to the perimeter.
Vertical.
Use his speed. He's Mr. Outside. Tyrone Wheatley's Mr. Inside. Get him the ball. Innovative ways of getting to the outside. Fake it on the inside. Pitch it to the outside. That's where his
Wasn't it a strange car accident that he ended up passing away in?
It's a great combo, and the Raiders certainly recognize that. Giving Kaufman a 2-year deal worth $6 million.
First name's
A 3-year deal worth
Napoleon.
$10 million. Brown in motion. This is Wheatley on the inside. Tried to struggle forward. He did.
Does he also keep his hand in his shirt?
Yes, he does. He runs down the field with his hand inside of his shirt like Napoleon.
Time will expire here in the first
He's
quarter.
in public.
Absolutely.
He's in public, got his hand in his
The
shirt,
score, Kansas
walking
City
around.
17, Oakland 7. We'll return
That's
to
the end
Arrowhead
of the
Stadium. The
first.
Chiefs look
So at the end of the
go
first,
playoffs.
all right. Well, the Commish Jr. is going to leave us, and I will finish the rest of the game solo, as it is unfortunately
Goodbye.
his bedtime.
They now lead at 17-7 as the Raiders are driving. Second and
What's up, NorCal?
Here's Gannon, the former Chief. Forced out of the pocket and forced to throw it away. It'll be third down. Chester McLaughlin, the former Raider, came into a
Chester McLaughlin is a Chief. That's just a disgusting look, isn't it? Isn't that just disgusting?
Chester McLaughlin this year, 53 quarterback pressures. That's number 54. And he's a man on the offensive line. It takes 2 blockers.
He wanted to come out. He knew he wasn't going to be able to make the whole game, but he wanted to come out for the beginning part. I told him it was a rough one to watch the beginning part because we were going to get housed in the first quarter. He's like, oh man, that sucks. Like, I'm sorry, bud, but
inside handoff. Kaufman.
you can't have a good comeback unless you get behind first.
Shy of a first down. He picked up 3. He needed 5.
And that is a tremendous play by Donnie Edwards because there was a gaping hole. If Kaufman takes the ball to the outside, he could be gone. Everybody's blitzing the passer. Derek Thomas comes flying up the field. There's a huge hole there, but he takes to the outside. But Donnie Edwards, with his speed and his angle on the pursuit, is able to tackle Napoleon Kaufman short of the first down.
We mentioned the injury to Mark Vanover, the ankle, so Kevin
Mark
Watkins
Vanover's
steps in
out
to return
after that big
punts.
return.
Aragoose gets it off, line drive. Lockett makes his move. Getting across the 20 and ahead to the 20.
What's up, Indiana in the house? Thank you for joining me tonight. I am the Commish. This is ReACTIon Black Friday, Silver and Black Theater. Dusting off another classic from the Silver and Black archives as we go back to January 2nd, 2000, week 17 of the 1999 season. The Chiefs need this game to make the playoffs. They win and they're in. They lose and they are out. Our season is done. They're wondering if we would have any fight left in us at this point of the season. But against the Chiefs, you know we always got fight.
Donnell Bennett keeps the feet moving, but was able to pick up maybe one. Brady Jackson.
Manuel, we will definitely have a stream shared to the page. We will be hunting down streams and sharing them to the page. So yes, stay tuned here. The captain and I are also in talks of being on location again this week for our halftime show. And then, of course, I will have my post-game reaction of the game.
The target out on the far sideline. It's incomplete. And the clock stops with 13:34 to play first half. Elvis Gerback told Gunther Cunningham earlier this week, I never thought a defense.
That's right, Silver Sunshine's on it.
Could work with quarterbacks.
We got a whole team that's going to be hunting down streams for you.
He was blown away by that.
And what's key about that is quarterbacks are in their own little world with their quarterback coaches. They go in their room and they're the X's and O's and they're going over zone blitzes and coverage and routes and all this stuff. And they don't think defensive coaches with their mentality understand that. But Gunther Cunningham knows that because he had to guard this offense. He knows about those.
I'm surprised you're not getting it, Manuel. I'm surprised you're not getting it. You should go look at. Did you look at the coverage map? Because I thought most of California was getting that game.
Thinking about running first before catching.
Nice job of coverage by Greg Beekert. He's been all over the field. Wherever the ball's thrown in that mid to intermediate range, he's been around.
We're all hoping that, Sean. You just got to believe, my man. You just got to believe.
At the end of the season, Gruden said they'd love to keep him. He's going to get some offers. Here's Gordon on the return. Middle of the field, and Gordon gets across the 45. A flag back in Kansas City territory. 40-yard punt.
I mean, guys, it's completely doable. Kansas City's a 6-6 team who's on a downhill slide. Then we play the Cowboys without Zeke, and they have not what they used to be. The Eagles have shown that they are not the powerhouse that everybody thought they were, and the Chargers are not unbeatable. So, I mean, come on. That is not a juggernaut schedule. That is a winnable schedule.
17-7.
And there's a damn good possibility the winner of this division is 9-7 with a tiebreaker. That's who wins the division.
We'll get to the 50-yard line for a
It's
pickup.
probably not going to be a 10-6 because all of these teams play each other twice yet.
John Ritchie has been a nice part of this offense for John Gruden as a fullback. Coming into the game, he's caught 37 passes, only 5.
Share it up, Raider Nation. Share it up.
Situations, pretty good pass protector when he's in there. But if you want to dump the ball in a West Coast offense, get it to your running backs, get it to your fullbacks. You want
I hope you're right, Michael.
First down, it's just like a run.
Three-receiver alignment on 2nd and 6, but they'll keep it on the ground. Kaufman spinning off a tackle. Napoleon Kaufman into Kansas City territory and down.
Napoleon Kaufman was a great little running back in the day, man. He's a shifty little dude. We have a history of shifty, small, shifty running backs. He was the Charlie Garner type. Napoleon Kaufman. Now we got Washington Rashard. They're all kind of that same type back.
Make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. That's one thing about the NFL this year. Tackling. Defensive players are poor tacklers this year in the NFL. That's something that they have to work on.
Kaufman on the sideline. Wheatley comes in. On a 1st and 10 from the 41. This is Wheatley. And he is met as he crossed the 40-yard line by Marcus Patton, who is a tackling machine.
Wheatley was such a banger.
Top rushing duos in the NFL. You see Wheatley and Kaufman.
Right there.
Now, obviously, you have to keep in mind, you could just take one guy like Curtis Martin, who's gained 1,400, 1,500 yards, and tack on another. We're looking for two guys that are contributing.
We want guys that carry the load.
And these two have certainly carried the load for the top rushing attack in the NFL. On a 2nd and 6. Tom Bart came firing in on Rich Gannon, along with Eric Hicks. So this Kansas City defensive line is getting pressure and collapsing that pocket.
Now, I talked about those tackles, McLaughlin and Barton, knocking the offensive line interior back. And right there, Chester McLaughlin knocks 2 back, the center.
Jesus, right into Gannon.
That's one key as an offensive lineman. I played center and guard. Once you get set in your stance, when you kick back, you make sure you know where that quarterback is, because most quarterbacks step up and then they retreat when they drop back for a pass.
A loss of 5. Now a 3rd and 11. Gannon throwing.
Nice throw.
It's complete to Terry Mickens. And he is down right around the 30-yard line. They picked up 12, needed 11. James Hasty on the tackle. And now Oakland is moving the football. New set of downs.
For James Hasty, here's a guy that likes to play in your face. Get up there. Once he drops back, Rich Gannon knows he's going to look to throw the ball to the outside to Mickens. He breaks it off because he's not pressured at the line. It's a quick slant to the inside. That's where you're going to pick up your yardage. When they drop back off from that face-to-face, man-to-man press, that's where you can pick up yardage on the Kansas City defense, making a quick pass.
Just the 19th reception of the season for Mickens. Wheatley is in the backfield, double tight end set with Dudley and Brigham. Wheatley will get the carry. Sidesteps one.
Nice.
Exploding through the hole. Tyrone Wheatley is
Wheatley, what a run.
inside the 15-yard line. Chris Dishman with the tackle.
Correct. You are correct, George. He did.
By Tyrone Wheatley, he broke Donnie Edwards' grasp and made something out of nothing.
James Hasty down with an injury.
So Hasty is slow to get up. We've already seen some injuries for Kansas City early on. Dan Williams and Tamarick Vanover. James Jett for Oakland went out with a shoulder injury. 1st and 10 for Oakland. Line of scrimmage is the 15. 17-7, Kansas City leading it. Inside a handoff as Gannon used a bit of trickery to get it to Zach Crockett. They picked up 2. Chester McLaughlin with the stop.
Now, you would think with all the changes on the offensive line for the Oakland Raiders that the Kansas City Chiefs defensive front would be able to take advantage of it. Not in this drive. Even though they substituted player for player, both tackles, right guard, they've been able to move the ball on the ground offensively and protect the quarterback when they had to on this drive.
Backs are split with Wheatley and Ritchie. And now Wheatley will shift over behind. On a 2nd and 8. Handoff, Tyrone Wheatley. Tried to cut it against the grain and then thought better of it. Play was designed to go right from the start, and he picked up just one. Edwards collaborating with Patton to make the tackle.
Donnie Edwards all over the field. Sheds blockers. He finds a way to get in on the tackle. Sheds a block right there. He's looking for the ball. But Tyrone Wheatley cutting against the grain.
He probably did. They probably went somewhere for dinner. I wouldn't be surprised.
Enough speed at the linebacker position. That's what they love about Donnie Edwards.
That and to thank him for that only giving Gronk a freaking 1-game suspension, which was what bunch of a bullshit too. The guy could have goddamn near ended the guy's career, and he gets one freaking game. One of the dirtiest plays I've seen in a long time. And he gets a game.
Here's Gannon. Underneath the coverage for Crockett. Zach
Crockett to the house. Touchdown, Raiders.
Despite the poor
Zach Crockett, man, I love Zach Crockett. He was a dude. You needed a yard, you give it to Zach Crockett.
What an outstanding call by John Gruden.
You need a touchdown in short yardage, you give it to Zach Crockett. He'll get it every time.
Look like you can't protect the quarterback. Let the defensive front go. Get out there and block for your running back. And Zach Crockett does the best, just driving to the end zone.
His first receiving touchdown of the season. Out of the hold with Leo Aragoos, Joe
Nedney.
Kicks through the extra point, a 9-play, 54-yard drive. Taking up just under 5 minutes of the clock. Gruden and the Raiders back in it in the second. Now 17-14, and Joe Nedney will kick it off. Joe Horn in for the injured tomorrow.
Well, don't we all, Sean? Don't we all?
Will field it from the 4. Forced out of bounds, shy of the 10. Once again, field position a problem as Charles Mincy was there with the coverage, and Horn, similar to a baseball player, let the ball play him. Raiders offense, first 5 possessions, total of 51 yards. Their last drive, they went over that number.
And they did it with backup offensive linemen. The only offensive lineman that's in his natural position is Barrett Robbins, the center. They were able to execute offensively. That's what's impressive about that offensive drive.
And on that drive, Rich Gannon was 3 of 3 throwing the football, 29 yards, and the touchdown to Crockett. Kansas City offense didn't have to do anything early. They do now. Play action. Durban. Plenty of time as he throws to the sideline, complete. Andre Rison. Just his 20th catch of the season.
Rison. How many freaking teams that guy play for? He was even a Raider for a minute.
First down for KC.
The Browns, the Falcons, the Raiders, the Chiefs. Did I miss one? Is that all of them?
That went the distance, and an interception return for James Hasty. For Elvis Burback, his first completion of the day. And it comes at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Looking for his second. Looking for the long ball. Down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Derek Alexander, along with Pro Bowler Charles Woodson. Michigan versus Michigan. And the defensive player wins out in that battle.
A young Charles Woodson.
A lot of teams do not throw at Charles Woodson. He only has 1 interception this year, and that was against the Kansas City Chiefs the first time around. He returned it for a touchdown, but here he backpedals. He plays Derek Alexander perfectly. He knows it's going to be a post pass.
Look, he's all over this, man. This dude ain't outrunning him. This is a young Charles Woodson.
That's quickness. That's attacking the football at the last second. Perfect play by Charles Woodson.
2nd and 10 from the 22. Gerback wants to throw it again. Underneath the coverage to Tony Gonzalez. But he's wrapped up very quickly by Greg Beaker. Just a 3-yard gain, modest gain. On 2nd down, it'll be 3rd down.
And I'll tell you what, Greg Beaker's got to be one of the quietest stories, one of the best stories in the NFL. 128 tackles coming in. He's like 50 tackles ahead of anybody else on this defense, and he's all over the field.
He's been the starter at middle linebacker for this team since 1994. He calls the defensive plays. He has just been rock solid for this Oakland defense over the years, but does not have a big name around the NFL. On 3rd and 7, Gerback looking for the first down, and throws it low for Joe Horn.
Gerbach, God, he sucks.
Horn's vicinity.
He picked him over Gannon, you dumbasses.
Will punt.
And I'll tell you what, Elvis Gerbach has not been accurate with his throws this afternoon. I wonder if that shows.
Never pick some guy named fucking Elvis to be the one that's going to take your team somewhere. It's just probably not going to work out. There's only one Elvis that was, you know, it's just not going to work out.
2 of 9 to start play for just 15 yards. Holt couldn't handle the snap. Able to get it off. Fortunate that he did.
Barely gets it off.
Tremendous field position. At their own 48-yard line, that's a 28-yard punt. And the rookie might be feeling the butterflies a bit in this playoff-type situation. The Raiders blocked the Kansas City punt earlier for a touchdown, and they nearly got another.
Not a perfect snap by Ralph Tam, but Pope should have handled this. Daniel Pope should have it right there. What an outstanding job. He kicks it off the instep of his foot to get it out of there. That is a tremendous job of getting rid of the football by Daniel Pope.
A look at the field position, the 48, as Zach Crockett gets the carry. They gain 2, depending upon where they spot the football. Chris
Zach
first man
Crockett.
Clock is moving with 6:48 left. First
I got some Crockett rookie cards I unburied. I've been going through my cards again. I unburied a couple Crockett rookie cards. I've got probably damn near every guy out here playing in this from this era. Rookie
Steve
cards.
Wisniewski is back for Oakland on the offensive line, and James Hasty has returned for Kansas City. Play fake. Gannon. Wobbly throw, knocked up in the air and incomplete. Tim Brown.
Tim Brown.
Not haul it in cleanly.
Come on, Tim.
It'll be 3rd and 8.
Pressure on the play from defensive end Eric Hicks. He's cut on the play, but in a game like this, you've just got to go through those cuts and get to the quarterback. Well, no one touches Tim Brown right across here, just runs right across the field. Ball's wobbled, but that's a ball that Tim Brown should come down with. Successful as he's been in his
One of them. What's up, BC?
Pitching football with another Pro Bowl. That's a ball he should catch.
Chiefs fans urging on the defense. 3rd and 8 for Oakland. Gannon stepping forward. Little flip forward. He gets it to Ritchie, but he's forced out of bounds short of the first down. Needed 8. He got 3. Hasty was the man that forced him toward the sideline. Oakland will punt.
And for Rich Gannon, trying to make something happen out of nothing right here with a makeshift offensive line. They're collapsing the pocket. He tries to get away and just two-handed pass, get rid of it. Two-hand pitch. He gets it to John Ritchie. They pick up positive yards on the play, but that's just doing whatever it takes to make a play successful.
Leo Aragoose, his 4th punt of the afternoon, with Kevin Lockett standing deep at his own 9-yard line, filling in for Vanover. Aragoose. That one may have been partially blocked.
I'll tell you what.
Man, the special teams are shit this game. Either one half of special teams is really, really good, or the other half is really, really bad.
And Kansas City is going to get whistled on knocking down the punter. Derek Thomas.
Oh, Kansas City gets the flag.
Looking around to see
roughing the punter.
The officials are going to change their mind. They are not. And here's Thomas.
Oh, yeah, he's
making contact on that right knee.
On the defense, number 58. That's a 5-yard. Results in a first down.
So it keeps the Oakland drive alive. Running into the kicker 5 yards. Roughing the kicker, the 15-yard penalty. They didn't get him on that.
For Derek Thomas, he could not stop his momentum. Trying to make a play. And even at the end of the play, he grabs the punter, Leo Aragoose, and he lays on the ground, grabbing his knee. That's pretty good acting by him. He gets up and trots off the field. But for Derek Thomas, that's just aggression, trying to make a play, trying to make something happen. And sometimes you're a little too aggressive. This is a big game. You're pulling out all the stops. That's why he's in there on punt block.
So instead of Kansas City's offense getting the football, Oakland's drive continues with a 1st and 10 at the 42. Wheatley ran into a brick wall as he tried to get it up across the 35. Ron George made the tackle, a gain of 4, maybe 4.5. And the clock is moving with 5:38 to play in the 2nd quarter. Oakland able to get back into this game. Kansas City, a under Gunther Cunningham, got off to about as quick a start as you will see. 14 points, bang, bang, without an offensive play being run.
Sometimes that happens in the game. You get a little complacent because you think you're so far ahead you can't lose. Now they've got to pick up the slack and make some plays on both sides of the ball.
On 2nd and 6, Wheatley running into a crowd. Leslie O'Neal along with Patton among others. Just a gain of 1.
Those are two warriors right there that made that tackle. Leslie O'Neal, Marcus Patton, guys that play hard, play every down. They don't come out of the game. And I'm very impressed by both of these players, the way that they've changed their careers coming to different teams. For Leslie O'Neal, this is his last stand coming here, and he's really taken advantage of the situation. For Marcus Patton, he was a guy the Washington Redskins led him in tackles every season he was there. They let him go. Kansas City was happy to pick him up.
3rd and 6 from the 38. Gannon in the pocket, pump fake. Avoiding the pressure and throwing that sidearm delivery complete. Terry Mickens is thrown down at the 25.
I love that sidearm throw again.
Raiders get a first
He
down.
just threw it around a defender.
Warfield combining on that coverage on the far sideline. That's good for 14 yards.
Keep an eye on Leslie O'Neal. He's got to run inside his stunt. It is a TE stunt, tackle end. There's no place for him to go. He leaves his feet. That's the biggest mistake you can do, is leave your feet against the quarterback that can run in Rich Gannon. But this play is all Rich Gannon. His mobility, faking the run, rolling out to the side, completing the pass downfield for the first down.
Gannon spent 4 years with the Kansas City Chiefs, a very popular figure around these parts. Wheatley squeezing between the tackle and the guard on the left side and at least getting some yardage on the play. That's good work out of Wheatley for 3. Bart and George combining on that stop. Tyrone Wheatley waited a long time to finally get a chance in the NFL, and he was rewarded with the contract that I mentioned earlier. 3 years, $10 million. The Raiders believe in it.
When we talked to Tyrone Wheatley earlier this season, he said, I knew my time would come. I believed in myself. If I just kept working at it, if I got to the right team, things would happen for me, and it's happened for him this season.
10 carries, 50 yards for Wheatley. Off the play action, knocked down. Chester McLaughlin. And the clock stops with 3:15 left first half.
Chester McLaughlin, the ex-Raider, was drafted by the Oakland Raiders, their first pick in 1992. Would love nothing better to have a big game to beat his old team, the Oakland Raiders, but fighting off blockers. Leslie O'Neal right in the picture with Chester McLaughlin. That's 350 pounds getting off the ground. Look at that vertical.
You know, they list him at 323.
Oh, come on. Those are those scales where, I remember on weigh-in day, you'd stick a penny into the scale, would knock off 10 pounds, stick a nickel, it would be 18 pounds, 20 pounds.
Yeah, but you automatically tack on like 25 for every lineman.
Oh, you have to. There's no way that that's the true way.
On 3rd and 7. Inside shuttle. Napoleon Cup.
Boom!
Takes it the distance.
Touchdown.
Raiders.
Raiders! Down 17-0 in the first quarter and have come storming back.
A 22-yard burst for Kaufman, and the Kansas City defense was completely faked out.
They were. Here's a look at the end zone. Watch the left guard pull around.
This is week 17 of the 1999 season, January 2nd, 2000.
He chips all the way around, gets a push at the end of the play on Reggie Tongue.
The Raiders already eliminated from the playoffs. The Chiefs win and they are in. If they lose, they are out. So the Raiders are playing simply.
Has happened to the Chiefs. They had a
Shit all over the Chiefs season.
Oakland with 21 unanswered points. And Kaufman has given the Raiders their
We have nothing more to play for than hatred for Kansas City.
21 points of their own, and Nedney kicks it off. Joe Horn will catch it. Not cleanly, though, from the 9. And Horn trying to stumble his way forward. Down at the 14-yard line, Randy Jordan, first man to greet him. And things seemingly falling apart for KC here in the second quarter.
And Gunther Cunningham's holding his head because at this point, you've got to put somebody back there that wants to return kicks. That's the second return that he's mishandled back-to-back. Concentrate on the ball, know where it is, know where it comes down. Here he's hesitant. He's trying to look downfield. Look at the ball, catch the ball with your hands, then take off with it. Now he's looking downfield. You recover the ball first. The first thing you do as a kick returner, protect that football.
Injured left ankle for Vanover. That's why Horn's in there. Quarterback avoiding the pressure. Able to find Bam Morris. And Morris gets out across the 20-yard line and very close to a first down. 9 yards, and Gerback was fortunate that he stepped up in the pocket because Eric Barton was coming.
for Elvis Gerback, he's got a lot of time on this clock to guide his team down to get a score. They still have to run, use their play action pass, do what they do best, move the chains. There's enough time on the clock to get another score before the half.
2nd and 1. Play fake. Gerback. Forced outside, throwing to the sideline, and it's ruled incomplete. Gonzalez did make the catch, but he was out of bounds. You know, the other element with Elvis Gerback, Mark, and we've done enough Chief games this season to know, there are still a lot of people around Kansas City that don't believe that Elvis Gerback is the answer at quarterback. It seems as if he's got to prove himself every single week in this red uniform.
Well, not only that, he's in an offense that when you're ahead or when it's very close, it's easy to command this offense. When you're behind and have to play catch-up, that's not his coverage.
Donnell Bennett, a bruising runner, gets to the 30-yard line, and a first down for KC as he gains 7. Glenn Parker, the left tackle, laid out a nice block for Bennett to work with. And they will run it down to the 2-minute warning. Oakland 21, Kansas City 17. The Chiefs trying to put some points up on the board before we hit halftime. 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and Oakland has the 21-17 advantage on Kansas City. Gunther Cunningham's team needs a win to get into the playoffs as either division champions if Seattle loses to the Jets or as a wild card. John Gruden told us earlier this week, obviously they want to spoil Kansas City's party, but they need a win just to get some credibility in this division. Gerback throwing. Low throw, sliding down as Kevin Lockett.
Didn't show his game to Richard.
A clean catch and a first down for KC.
That's as pretty a catch you want to see. Elvis Gerback laid that ball in there only where Kevin Lockett could get it, but he reaches back and makes one heck of a play on the ball.
Clock is moving. 3 receivers set. Gerback throwing again. This time it's Gonzalez. Stiff arm and forced out of bounds inside the 40 at the
Gonzalez. I hated Tony Gonzalez.
That's good for 11 yards. Charles Woodson with the tackle. But he could not bring him down initially.
Good protection by the offensive line, and Elvis Gerback operates better in a 2-minute situation than he has this entire game. But if you're ever going to get a mismatch, that's Tony Gonzalez on defensive backs. Even if he's double coverage, get him the football.
Kansas City now in business in Oakland territory. On first down, Gerback. A little too much mustard on it, and too far to the right for Tony Gonzalez, incomplete. Coming up, the NASDAQ halftime report. Jim Craig, Randy, and Jerry will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights. Plus, Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms will have a report on the Miami-Washington game. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. And Dolphin fans are certainly interested in what's happening here today in Kansas City, because a Chiefs loss will put the Dolphins into the playoffs before they even step on the field against the Skins. On a 2nd and 10, Gerback looks to the sideline, throws to the outside. Kevin Lockett gets out of bounds just shy of the marker. That covers 9 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1 for KC. Chiefs still have 2 timeouts to work with.
What makes the play successful, Elvis Gerback looks to his right, pump fakes, and turns to his left.
How do you hang your franchise's hopes and dreams on a guy named Elvis fucking
Gerback
Gerback?
can complete the pass. He's got problems when you come up and press his receivers on the line of scrimmage, and he's got to force the ball in there. Sometimes he forces it into coverage.
Having by far his best drive of the day. Handoff, Tony Richardson. First down for KC. Comes up just shy of the 25. He picked up 3, and James Harris with a stop. And the Chiefs will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, stopping the clock with 1:19 showing.
ということはですね、これまたひょっとしたら2ミニッツで逆転可能ですから、4点差なんで。
On a 1st and 10 from the 26, Gerback. Too high for Joe Horn.
Looking at that play, he had Tony Gonzalez wide open on a corner route. He's one-on-one with the safety. That's where you make the play. You pump the ball short, throw it over the top to Tony Gonzalez.
Now a 2nd and 10 for Kansas City, trailing 21-17. 1:15 on the clock left in the second quarter. Tony Richardson by himself in the backfield. A 4-receiver set for Gerback to work with. Steps up and fires. He's got Gonzalez down at the 8. Anthony Newman, the strong safety, with a tackle, and Gerback uses a timeout. 1st and goal inside the 7. Richardson is in the backfield. Gerback wants to throw it. Forced out of the pocket, Gerback throwing on the run. Too high for Lonnie Johnson. Incomplete. James Harris was the man that forced Elvis Gerback to go on the run. And he could not make the connection with Johnson, who had a couple of drops last week.
And for Elvis Gerback, if he stays in the pocket, he gets excellent protection by Donald Bennett on the blitz. He rolls to his right. James Harris just tracks him down. He's going on an outside contain rush. Be patient in the pocket. If you don't see those white jerseys, step up and throw the ball in the end zone.
12th play of the drive. On a 2nd and goal. Motion man Alexander. Gerback back to throw it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Gonzalez.
Fuck you, Tony Gonzalez.
Chiefs regain the lead. And the slam dunk for good measure, which has become a trademark for
Gonzalez,
Tony Gonzalez,
who could never
his 11th
get a freaking
touchdown
ring
reception of the season.
in Kansas City. So at the end of his career, he bails on his fucking team for a chance to go and try and get a ring with a better team. So I'm glad that Putz never got one, man. What a schmuck.
He's patient. The blitz comes. They pick it up. He steps tall in the pocket, stands tall, and throws the ball to Elvis Gerback.
Pete Stoyanovich with a point after. Gonzalez was kept out of the end zone last week. Kansas City Chiefs now in front 24-21, and KC will kick it off. Low kick, takes a bounce, and the Raiders will have great field position out at the 40-yard line.
And this has got to be driving Gunther Cunningham absolutely bonkers.
Kickoff out of bounds on the kicking team. 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down.
Second time today that John Baker, the former CFL kicker, has cost the Chiefs valuable field position.
He's getting an earful for Gunther Cunningham, and he should. Here you bring a guy in. All you have to do is kick off. Nothing else. We're not asking you to do anything but kick off. But twice in a big game, crucial situations, you give him excellent field position. And right here, just kick it down the middle of the field.
He shaked it
Down the middle of the field. Maybe you should put a shoe on.
It's the other option.
Put a shoe on his foot.
So now Oakland with 54 seconds to work with. They give the ball to Tyrone Wheatley, and he carries.
What a first half. 21-24. It's insanity.
With the stop at around the 46-yard line. Raiders still have 2 timeouts. Clock is moving, though, with 36 seconds left to play. Gannon. Caught by Brown. Tim
Brown.
Into Kansas City territory and inside the 35. That's good for 20 yards, and for Brown, his first catch of the afternoon.
Any night's a good night when you watch Tim Brown catching balls.
Kansas City's floating their zone coverage over to Tim Brown. Right here, he gets hasty, turned around. He's wide open. He gets help at the end of the play. Good spin move at the end of the play. But if you're with Tim Brown and you're covering, you know help. You know Rich Gannon's going to go to him with the football in a big situation. Double cover him. Whatever it is, double cover him. James Hasty already has a banged-up knee. He limped off the field earlier. He can't be 100%. Give him some help out there on their best receiver.
And for Tim Brown, 108 straight games with a reception. Interesting story surrounding Brown because he can become a free agent on February 1st if he decides to go that way. And a lot of grumblings out there that Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys would love to have the hometown hero.
Yeah, fuck that.
As well as a few teams in the NFL.
Rumors of what? Come on. They're talking about Timmy going to the fucking Cowboys? Get out of here with that bullshit. What are you guys smoking in that booth?
First and 10. Raiders are on the move. Play action. Gannon to Ritchie. John Ritchie. Out of bounds. He's got another first down for Oakland. That covered 12 yards with 20 seconds to play in the first half.
We are going to do our damnedest to take care of that, Bob.
Offense line for the Oakland Raiders. No one's covered him. Rich Gannon looks off to the left and dumps it off to Ritchie. They don't expect him to catch the football. If he's in there, expect him to get the football. He's a big plan in their offense this afternoon. His 4th reception, 25 yards.
They still have 1 timeout to work with. Wheatley in the backfield, this time with Ritchie. Brown the motion man. Line of scrimmage to 23. A flip for Wheatley.
Wheatley!
Running room. Tyrone Wheatley.
Touchdown!
Into the end zone for the
Raiders!
Oh, do the Raiders strike quickly or what?
My God.
Did not waste any time. Rich Gannon sets this screen up the way you're supposed to set it up. You drop deep, you look down the field of play, turn and dump it off as soon as you can. As soon as the rush gets close to you, get rid of the football. But he has two offensive linemen out in front of him. Once the offensive linemen run to the right, the defense has to know, particularly linebackers, it's a screen, go cover it. They don't. It's easy for Tyrone Wheatley.
And all you have to do is go back to the bad kickoff from John Baker, giving the Raiders the football at their own 40-yard line. Joe Nedney with the extra point. That's a four-play, 60-yard drive, taking up just 42 seconds. And Tyrone Wheatley with a touchdown reception to give the Raiders the lead once again. Now 28-24.
And Marcus Patton blitz. Rich Gannon reads it, turns and dumps it off. The blocking out in front. They don't even have to block. It's a hand block. He doesn't even get a block. He just runs through it, and that's all Tyrone Wheatley. He's got two blockers out in front of him. And Gianardo Napoli and Barrett Robbins, the center. Napoleon Barrett Robbins, the center, but none of them block anybody. He doesn't need the block.
He did go to Tampa, Sean. He played his last season in Tampa, and then they did one of those, we'll sign you to a one-day contract, and you can come back and retire as a Raider. That's what went down, but he did play his last full season in Tampa.
That allowed Oakland to keep that drive alive, and they got a touchdown off of that.
And mistakes that cost him. You're absolutely right. That mistake cost him, and then the bad kickoff. Hey, I go to Pete Stoyanovich. He may not kick it long, but you know if you tell him to keep it on the field, he'll keep it in between the hash marks.
Tamarick Vanover has returned for Kansas City.
Pulling out all the stops. You've got to, at this point, you've got to get everybody in there. If you're limping a little bit, hey, tape a Band-Aid on and get out there and play.
Joe Horn was struggling.
Gunter's like, I don't give a shit, Vanover. Get your ass out there. It's like, I don't give a fuck if your leg hurts. Our season's on the line, you son of a bitch.
And out at the 40-yard line with just 10 seconds to play in the first half. Don't forget, the NASDAQ halftime report is coming up next. Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry will get you caught up on the scores and highlights. And a preview from Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms on the Dolphins and the Redskins. It's all coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. One of the crazier games that we have seen already, and one half isn't even complete. A handoff, Tony Richardson. But the last time these two teams played, it was pretty bizarre as well, with Kansas City scoring 17 points in the fourth quarter to come back for the victory. John Gruden, though, feeling pretty good about his team right now. The Kansas City Chiefs wondering if they can put it together and make a run in the second half to go to the playoffs. Kansas City team. Well, it's a new millennium. Maybe a new start for the Raiders as Nedney kicks it off. Vanover from the 10. Here's Vanover bouncing off a tackle. Tamarick Vanover is brought down from behind at the 29 by Bobby Brooks on special teams. Halftime numbers with the Raiders in front 28-24, and offensively, really not much to speak of for Kansas City because of those early scores coming on special teams and on defense. Elvis Gerbach, though, on their final drive, did finally get into a rhythm.
And that's momentum that they've got to carry over offensively to the second half. If they're going to win this football game, they've got to put a lot of points up offensively because their defense hasn't been able to stop the Oakland Raiders.
On a rollout, Gerbach throws. Gonzalez makes the catch. Tony Gonzalez at the 40-yard line, 11 yards. And a first down for Kansas City. That is his 5th catch of the day.
That's confidence in your tight end. He's covered by two defenders, finding a way to get it to him. He forced it in there a little bit, but Tony Gonzalez came back for the football. That's just a mindset. Tamarick Vanover comes out, runs over a couple of people on the kick return. They come out the first play, get the ball to Tony Gonzalez. They're going to the bread and butter.
First and 10 now. Handoff goes to Van Morris. Remaining on his feet as he takes it just about to midfield. 9 yards straight up the middle, and Tony Richardson gave him a good block to work with. It'll be second and short.
And I said it was a mindset. They came out with a different mentality in the second half. Thus far, the first couple of plays, it looks like they're going to take it to the Oakland Raiders. They're not going to sit back and make somebody else take a play. Gunther Cunningham probably told them at halftime, every one of you reach down. I want your best in the second half, and every one of you make a play on every snap.
Second and 1 from the 49. Inside handoff. Richardson struggling to get to the outside. Richardson, great second effort for the first down into Oakland territory. It went from no gain to a pickup of 2. Darrell Russell had a chance to bring him down initially and hold him shy of the first down marker.
And this is what I was talking about, not being denied. Give everything you've got. He should have been tackled for the loss right there. He spins out of it.
I need to do it about these stupid suspensions, I tell you. Everything is so whacked out of the sliding scale that they use is just absurd.
First down at the 48 of Oakland. Pitch. Morris hits the hole hard and picks up a couple. A gain of 1, maybe 1.5 as Eric Barton made the stop. The last meeting between these two teams, November 28th. Kansas City with a 37-34 victory in Oakland. They scored 17 fourth-quarter points to come from behind, and John Gruden's team really never recovered from that. They've been so inconsistent. A couple of weeks ago, the Raiders dominated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 45-0, but then last week, they got beat by San Diego 23-20. On 2nd and 8, Gerback buying some extra time and throws it away. Lance Johnstone was applying the pressure and some words exchanged following the play.
You're going to have that in a big game like this with so much at stake, everyone laying it down the line. But Elvis Gerback had excellent protection. The secondary of the Oakland Raiders did a fantastic job of covering the wide receivers, but it's all emotion. This game's about emotion at the end of the play. Elvis Gerback trying to make a play. Lance Johnstone at the end of the play brings him down. They roll out of bounds off the field, but he brings him down on the field of play. No reason for Lance Johnstone to do that. There's no way he should push Elvis Gerback. That should be a penalty on the defense.
No flags as the officials letting these two teams play. On a 3rd and 8 for Kansas City. Gerback will throw it. Timing pattern. Sideline throw. Over the head of Alexander, who was matched up with Eric Allen. Incomplete.
This is a big matchup between these two. Eric Allen, last week against Jim Harbaugh, the San Diego Chargers took advantage of him, threw some bombs on him. They're taking their shot here. He goes the wrong way. He looks inside. The ball's thrown outside. They need to get on the same page where he lines up. If he's going to break it to the outside, he's got to make his move to the outside to get the football.
Punting problems today for Kansas City with Darian Gordon standing at his own 10. Low snap from Tam. And Pope gets it off. It's a high punt. They take a bounce in the end zone. Offensive possession of the second half, and they have it a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Wheatley in the backfield with Ritchie. Gannon on a handoff. Wheatley is met quickly, but does move forward for a pickup of 2. Jerome Woods was able to fire in and clog up the hole.
This offense has been able to spread it out, as you see, Ryan, right here, but most of it to the running backs. The big plays have been on the running backs on screens or dump off to the fullback and John Ritchie, but that's the West Coast offense of getting rid of the football as fast as you can. Dump it off to your backs, short pass, long game.
All 3 touchdown receptions have come from running backs here today for Oakland. Brown, the motion man, on 2nd and 8. Play fake. Gannon, sidearm throw. Out of the reach of Terry Mickens. Incomplete. Talk about Rich Gannon coming back into Kansas City, where former chief quarterbacks have not had success going against their one-time team. A combined record of 1 and 10 if you're a former chief quarterback going against Kansas City later in your career.
That's the 1 week you want to have the flu when you face this Kansas City Chiefs team, but this is a big down. The crowd's into it. The offensive line, particularly the tackles, you're so far away from the quarterback, you have to concentrate on the snap count in the football.
And this crowd is getting charged up. The play clock is down to 2. Handoff, Kaufman, nowhere to run. And the Kansas City defense has opened strong here in the 3rd quarter. As the Raiders go 3 and out, Edwards combining with McLaughlin to make that tackle. And Gunther Cunningham relying on that bread and butter, what he knows best, defense. If the offense can't win it for him, he's looking for a big play out of this defense that's come up with him all throughout the season.
Right there, Chester McLaughlin taking 2, allowing the linebackers to make the play, and Donnie Edwards.
Aragoose, short punt. Takes a bounce out to the 37-yard line. So Kansas City with good field position after the 39-yard punt from Aragoose. 28-24.
ちょっと変えてきてると思うんです。
なるほど。
やっぱり行かれ方がね、あまりにもちょっと、屈辱的、ショックな行かれ方です。
These aren't the 90s anymore, and Oakland now has the 28-24 advantage. First and 10 for KC. Gerback throwing, broken up. Eric Allen stepping in front of Derek Alexander.
I wonder where Elvis Gerback was throwing that football. He never looked. He looked to the right and turned and just threw the football. And right here, he's not on the same page with Derek Alexander. Ball should have never been thrown. He's very lucky that Eric Allen just went for the knockdown instead of the pick.
And with each second that goes by, the pressure mounts on Elvis Gerback. Can he be the leader of this team? Can he get this club to the playoffs? Trying to run inside. Bam Morris lost the football. Eric Allen trampled on it, and the Raiders have it. At the 37-yard line, Allen comes away with a fumble recovery.
Bam Morris is experienced enough. Once you are in a ton of traffic with a football, two hands, he can't hold on to the football. He's got to protect the football. James Harris gives him a lick, knocks it out. The ball's on the ground. Right, open, easy. Eric Allen picks it up. Everybody's going to get Bam Morris and knock him around. They don't even look for the ball on the ground.
And the disgust in Gunther Cunningham's face. It's right there for the taking. You win and you're in. But the Raiders have the lead in the football. Napoleon Kaufman dropped down right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss. Marcus Patton. It is a loss of one.
And this is filling the gap. Marcus Patton looks for the ball, fills the hole on the backside, one-on-one, bam, right there, head-to-head, excellent one-on-one tackle.
Will it have to be the Kansas City defense that goes out there and does the job and gets this team into the postseason?
The way their offense is playing, I believe it has to be. I believe you're correct. They've got to come up with a big play. They've got to create turnovers.
Second and 11. Mickens in motion. Here's Gannon. Off the hands of Kaufman and almost intercepted. Jerome Woods made a dive at it. It goes down as incomplete.
And it's plays like this, you know the brakes are not going your way. When a ball's floating in the air like this, thrown behind the running back, is tipped in the air, those are the plays you make interceptions. Those are the plays the Kansas City Chiefs defense have thrived down the entire season, creating opportunities or making something out of somebody else's misfortune.
Third and 11. Gannon. In trouble. Twirled down for the sack. Tom Bart. Kansas City has its third sack of the day. None bigger than that one, and Bart able to break free to bring down his former teammate.
And Tom Bart has to think Eric Hicks. He beats the tackle around the corner. Darrell Ashmore right here, one-on-one, gets a great jump on the ball, forces Rich Gannon to move out of the pocket. They're around the corner, and Tom Bart's got the middle. His job is to protect the middle. If Rich Gannon steps up, sack him.
Aragoose laces into this one. Vanover allows it to bounce. Raiders trying to save it. And they do. Inside the 5. Great job by Kenny Shedd, leaving his feet to knock the ball back out of the end zone. And the Chiefs are pinned back in their own territory, trailing 28-24 in the third. 28-24, Oakland has the lead. How do you last 5 years in the NFL without a big name? Make an impact on special teams like Kenny Shedd.
And that's just showing his athleticism. And there's been one key to this game, special teams. The Oakland Raiders have played tremendously well on special teams against the Kansas City Chiefs. One big play by the Chiefs. That's been it for the Kansas City Chiefs special teams.
Donnell Bennett running inside as he gained 2. And Kenny Shedd watching from the sidelines as he was the man responsible for keeping Kansas City deep in their own territory. This is a 2nd and 8. Line of scrimmage is the 4. Double tight end set. Going to try to bang the ball out of there. They can't do it. The Oakland Raiders defense responds. Grady Jackson leading the way, but just about everybody else helped out on the play. And the line of scrimmage will be just shy of the 2-yard line.
And this is an area you've got to take a chance. You've already run it on first down. You didn't make very much yardage. On second down, what you've got to do, play action pass, take your shot downfield, get somebody matched up one-on-one on the outside, either Risen or Alexander, and get positive yardage. Now your back's against the wall. You've got to get yards on this play.
Here's 3rd and 10. Draw play. Donnell Bennett. First down, Kansas City at the 29. Pressure moments. And a pressure performance for Bennett on the draw. Everybody knew it was coming on the ground. You don't want to risk going back to pass from your own end zone.
Everybody but the Oakland Raiders, they spread the offense out. Kansas City does, and there's nobody in the middle of the field. Great job of blocking by the offensive line. Straight ahead running by Donnell Bennett. First down to Kansas City Chiefs. The job is done by the offensive line, fanning everybody on the defense to the outside.
27-yard run. Bennett again pushing tacklers away as he gets to the 40-yard line. That's an 11-yard hard run up the middle. And a fresh set of downs for Kansas City to work with.
Nice blocking by the offensive line. At the end of the play, you see big old Dave Zott. He really wants it. Down the field, 15 yards down the field, diving over the pile, trying to make something happen. That's what you have to do in this situation as a player. Make something happen yourself. Give the extra block. Don't be satisfied with 1. Be satisfied with 2 or 3.
1st and 10 from the 40. Bennett. He just keeps on coming. That's a gain of 8. Grunhard and Shields with the blocks there, and Gonzalez is being...
Things are starting to get a little chippy out there.
Bad blood between these teams through the
After
years,
all them
and now
fireworks in the
everything
first
on the line
half.
for Kansas City, you know that tempers will flare.
The scoring has
Tony Gonzalez
waned
just
a little
blocking
bit.
At the end of the play. That's going after between both players, but right at the end of the play, here's a little forearm right at the bottom of the play, and guys fighting, sticking their hands in each other's face. Now, these are players that want it. So much at stake, they're going to do whatever it takes to get a victory, and there's going to be a fight at the end of this game. They're going to fight to win. Not a fist fight, but a football fight, getting after each other.
This drive has been all Bennett. Now Richardson will get a chance, and the running game is just working. 4 yards on the play of first down for KC. Let's get an NFL Today report and Jim Nance. Well, a lot of people around the league believe that Rob Johnson would be the starter for the majority of the teams around the NFL right now, but he's a backup to Doug Flutie. Have to look at the context. Play fake. Gerback. Throwing. Knocked down by Allen. Once again, Allen was matched up with Alexander.
Eric Allen says, I don't
And Allen
think
brings
so.
up the veteran.
And they're only sending 2 people out on the routes in this play. Derek Alexander has a step on him, but the ball's just not thrown over Eric Allen. It allows him to make a play on this football, and he closes on the football.
If it is thrown above Allen, that's 6.
That is. It's nobody back there to protect against it. And I think Elvis Gerback knows that. He has not been precise with his passes this afternoon. He's the one that has to step up and make the play.
First 6 plays of the drive resulted in 50 yards, all rushing. They'll go back to the ground game. Bennett down at the 38-yard line and very close to a first down. The tight end, Tony Gonzalez, laying out a block to spring. And Kansas City just running the football down Oakland's throat right now.
Donnell Bennett's picked up the pace for this offense along with the offensive line. They're relying on the guys up front to make plays, make your blocks, and run the ball with Donnell Bennett. They've had success. Stay with what is making you work offensively. Run the football.
Throw into the mix as the Jets are leading Seattle 16-9. And a first down run for Bennett. Just needed a yard. He picked up 3.
You got to ride this horse till he makes a break, and Donnell Bennett. Keep feeding him the football. As the next player, an offensive lineman, when you're running the ball like this and having success, you look across your opponent and say, hey, the ball's coming right here. Stop us. That's what the Chiefs are doing. They're running Donnell Bennett, saying, hey, we're going to continue to run him till you stop him.
4.5 to play in the third. Oakland 28, Kansas City 24. Chiefs driving with a 1st and 10 at the Oakland 36. Bennett by himself. Play fake. Gerback airing it out. Down the sideline for Rison. Incomplete.
Dude, that would have been a flag bigger than shit, man.
Allen was there initially one-on-one, but the safety ranged over. And Rison ended up
that hit from the safety, that would have been a flag. Bigger than shit. I mean, look at this.
Success today against the play-action pass. They're not biting on the run. They're a little late coming up and stopping the run, but they're not going to
totally headhunted him
on routes on play-action passes.
5 straight incompletions for Elvis Gerback.
Today, that would have been a flag.
For the Chiefs.
100% it would have been.
Richardson. Tony Richardson. Just shy of the 25-yard line. Tony Gonzalez with another block, and Richardson used it well.
Forget the play-action pass, stay on the ground. They run their counter game. I didn't think Tony Richardson was patient enough in waiting for his blockers. He ran by his blockers on this play, pulling left guard Will Shields, left tackle Victor Riley. Wait for your blocks to set up. Then he makes his cut back to the inside, and he takes the honest on his own and picks up positive yardage, and it looks close to a first down.
Looks to be enough.
That's power running. If you're going to run between the tackles with those big packs, punish the defense.
It is enough by the length of the football. Tony Richardson, who has had to change his preparation for these games because he was so used to being a blocking fullback, and now Gunther Cunningham is using him as a running back as well.
Everybody said he was a straight line runner, and Gunther asked him, "Are you a straight line runner?" He goes, "No, nobody's ever given me a chance to run the football. Give me an opportunity, and I'll carry the load." And he has the last few weeks.
73 yards on this drive, all on the ground. They're looking for more. Richardson losing up the middle. Down to the 15-yard line. That looks to be enough for another Kansas City first down. And every time, the officials now have to step in and break up potential fights.
This is
it's getting chippy out there.
On the left side, you pull around big Will Shields, and Tony Richardson barrels through the middle of the defense. Shortest way to the goal line and first down, straight ahead. Tony Richardson's a big fullback. He knows that. There are holes in the middle of the defense. That's your chance to take advantage of. Now it's the 1-2 punch. Now you get the second part of the punch.
7 carries for Richardson, 65 yards. Now he's on the sideline. Bennett is in there. Play action. Gerback throwing to the end zone. Caught. Joe Horn's got it. Touchdown. Kansas City in front. A long drive that started out at their own 2-yard line. The first 83 yards of this drive came on the ground. The final 15, and the most important, in the end, through the air.
Absolutely, but punishing the defense with the blocking of the offensive line in the run game, and Joe Horn pushing off at the end, coming up with a touchdown reception.
Pete Stoyanovich with the extra point. The Kansas City Chiefs get the go-ahead score. A crucial touchdown for Kansas City, but was Joe Horn in?
Nice deep crossing route. He pushes off Charles Mincy right there to catch the football. But I want you to keep an eye on his right foot. We're going to see another replay. Watch his right foot come down with the football. Bingo. Looks like he's out.
Oakland decided not to challenge, so the play stands, and Baker does a much better job on this kickoff. Here's Kaufman from the 6. Looks for an opening. And Napoleon Kaufman gets out across the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Oakland. Once again, good field position. Line of scrimmage, the 32. Gannon on a slant, and a big gainer.
Tim Brown. Tim Brown will eat you up and chew you up and freaking spit your ass out on a slant.
Just when you think momentum has swung one way, it goes back the other.
All it takes is one play to hit Tim Brown on the slant. Watch it right here.
This slant was so pretty.
Makes his move, comes across the field, hits it, boom, take it up the field and play, make positive yardage. Let him catch it. Tim Brown, an outstanding year, and he's had big games against this team. Each and every game, he averages 97 yards a game and 7 receptions in the last 8 versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
But his teams don't usually win. Wheatley, hurdling, Tyrone Wheatley, trying to cut it to the outside. Wheatley remains on his feet. Wheatley won't go down. Wow. Touchdown.
Holy shit! Wow! I completely forgot about that run. Holy shit! What a run by freaking Wheatley, man. You are not taking me down.
John Gruden at one moment upset that his defense got clamped down on the Kansas City offense. And at the very next moment,
Gunther Cunningham's like, what the hell did that just happen?
In just 2 plays back-to-back, but Tyrone Wheatley does all of this on his own. A simple dive play right up the gut. Stays with it and will not be denied.
He got pushed the final 4 yards of that run as Joe Nedney kicks.
What a run.
忘れちゃった。
は
オーバータイムで
あ、そうですね。
勝ったんですよね。ごめんなさい、ボール。
Above and beyond.
What the hell was
The
that?
question for him is, how does a win help us?
What the holy fuck? What the fuck was that?
Help us springboard into the 2000 football
What?
season, feeling good about ourselves as if we did 1999.
Was this some pirated broadcast back in the day? That was fucking hilarious.
If we can't beat the Chiefs, we can't do anything in the AFC West.
Tamarick Vanover crossing the 30-yard line. And the playoff spot is there. They can taste it. Back, play action. Over the middle. Alexander at midfield.
You see it, too? Terry,
Play after big play.
he clicked on that for a second. I was like,
18 yards.
Wait a
the
second.
line of scrimmage will be.
because I mean these things are like 2 hours and 40 minutes long. I can't even watch all of these all the way through before I show them. I typically make sure it's got a solid beginning, middle, and an end. You know, I don't want it cutting off with like 2 minutes left in the game. So when I'm digging for these, I got to make sure they're all here. But
Donnell Bennett hit initially and brought down very quickly. No gain on the play. Lance Johnstone, first man there, and then the Raiders were able to finish him off. Greg Beaker. It'll be 2nd and 10 with just under a minute now left in the third quarter.
And so far in this game, I'm surprised there hasn't been a reverse pass because of the pursuit of both defenses. They're attacking the quarterback. They're going after the football. To get a big play in either one of these defenses, I think you have to use a little trick.
oh, Bob, that's hilarious. That made me forget. That's hilarious.
No gain, though, on the play. Lance Johnstone, the tackle, getting out to the sideline to make the stop. Down to 30 seconds left in the third. And Johnstone has been pumped throughout. Had 11 sacks last season, has 10 this season, thanks to a 3-sack performance last week in the loss to San Diego.
And he's another guy that you don't hear a lot about in the NFL, along with Greg Beaker, that he's had 2
Beaker and Johnstone, man, they were both solid.
Pass rusher, somebody you're going to hear a lot more of.
Could be the final play of the quarter. Underneath, Tony Richardson cannot break free of Beaker.
Beaker.
A loss on the play as the Kansas City offense
Beaker was a
stalls.
stud, man. I loved Greg Beaker.
That's the
He was
end
a hell of a
the third
linebacker.
quarter with a score, Oakland 35, Kansas City 31. What a game it's been. We'll return to Arrowhead after this message and a word from your local station. Start of the fourth quarter here in Kansas City. Iron Eagle, Mark May, our entire CBS crew.
The fourth
With Oakland
quarter.
leading at 35-31. Daniel Pope gets it away cleanly. Darian Gordon fields at the 16. Gordon straight ahead to the 30-yard line. And again, the Raiders with good field position as Greg Minuski made the tackle right around the 32. Al Davis, he would like nothing more than to spoil the playoffs for Kansas City. Raiders cannot finish with a winning record this year. The best they can do is finish at 500 at 8-8 with a win. And you know, for him, these matchups always become a thorn in his side because of what the Chiefs have done to the Raiders in recent years.
And the pride that Al Davis and this organization has, but losing 18 out of the last 20, that's something that the Raiders just cannot stomach, particularly Al Davis.
Utter dominance. 1st and 10. Gannon, the former Chief, able to dump it off for Wheatley, and he's brought down at the 35-yard line for a pickup of 1, maybe 2. Chris Dishman makes the tackle.
That's the first time this afternoon that the Kansas City defense has played the screen well. The Oakland offense has done an outstanding job of executing the screen play against this defense for big yardage and a touchdown. That's the first time they were able to go down the keyboard, the defensive line, play the line of scrimmage, and attack the football when it's dumped off to a runner.
Rich Gannon played for the Chiefs 4 years, decided to take the money that Oakland was offering. 4 years, $16 million. Play fake. Gannon knocked up in the air. Incomplete. Patton didn't see it. Want to welcome those of you who've been watching Buffalo, Indianapolis. Here in Kansas City, Oakland leads at 35-31. Chiefs with a win get into the playoffs, either as division champions or as a wild card. It's been back and forth after Kansas City got off to such a strong start in the early going with 2 quick touchdowns. One for the punt return to Mark Vanover. The other, a James Hasty interception that went back, but Oakland battled back, and they now lead at 35-31. Raiders facing a 3rd and 8, full receiver set. On a rollout, again a flip. Kaufman couldn't cut it back. Kansas City's defense was ready. That pass hurt them earlier, and Kaufman took it in for a touchdown earlier. But this time, Marcus Patton was prepared.
And the defense was prepared for the shuttle pass. Not only Marcus Patton, but the defensive lineman, Bart, Leslie O'Neal, Chester McLaughlin. They were able to stuff the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders and not let them have a seam so the running back could run through. And that's what they have to do. They've got to stay on the line of scrimmage and stuff the offensive line. They've been pushed back the entire afternoon by the front 5 of the Oakland Raiders, and now they're trying to turn the tide against the offensive line of Oakland.
Kaufman needs some help to get off the field as Patton made the hit. Great pursuit by Patton to stay with Kaufman, who is so shifty. A loss of 2.
Now, I believe that guy right there, Marcus Patton's one of the best tacklers in the NFL. He does not miss an opportunity when it comes to tackling someone with a football.
Leo Aragus. He'll punt it away for Oakland with Mark Vanover standing at his own 20. Vanover busted one earlier and put Kansas City on the board before their offense even took the field. Aragus, a high punt. Vanover forced it back, but catching at the 16. Flag down on the play. Weaving through traffic, and Vanover is brought down at the 34-yard line by Eric Martin. A 51-yard punt, 17-yard return. But we will hear from Walt Coleman because of the flag on the near sideline back at Oakland territory at the 32. It's against Kansas City. Gunther Cunningham's team has made mistakes today.
Holding on the return team, number 80, during the kick, 10 yards, first down.
Kansas City will have the football, trailing 35-31 when we come back to Arrowhead here in the 4th quarter. 35-31, Raiders in front with 13:22 to play in the 4th quarter. You see the scoring by quarters. Chiefs got off to the great start, but Oakland bounced back in that 2nd quarter. Since then, it's been a standstill. Both teams going back and forth. Donnell Bennett able to get it out to the 9-yard line for a gain of 1, and Greg Biekert in on another stop for Oakland. Get the most in-depth analysis on NFL matchups in the Matchup Breakdown. Plus, check out the complete playoff scenario. Just click on NFL at cbs.sportsline.com. John Tate is coming to the game on the offensive line, left tackle for Kansas City on a 2nd and 9. Draw play, Bennett again. Donnell Bennett is unable to find an opening. Chuck Osborne. Haven't called his name much today, but he makes a big play here in the 4th. And now Kansas City faces a 3rd and 10.
Now, in this situation, Elvis Gerback hasn't been very successful today. 13 of 29 passes. That's not what this team is all about. Offensively, they want to pound the football. Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, told me if Elvis Gerbeck has to throw the ball in the 30s or higher, they're going to have problems offensively. They don't want to get into a scoring trap maybe than a punt.
They'll throw it here. Gerbeck, sideline throw. Leaping attempt and a catch by Horn. First down at around the 37-yard line. He was battling one-on-one with Charles Woodson, the Pro Bowler.
Joe Horn challenging Charles Woodson. A lot of people in this NFL league have not challenged him one-on-one. It's a little out and up. The double move got him. Now it's jump fight for the football. Joe Horn makes a spectacular catch, comes down with the ball. But what got Charles Woodson was the out and up move. The double move usually gets a cornerback every on the corner.
A 30-yard pass and catch. Here's Bennett trying to get through the middle, and again, Oakland is right there, holding him to no gain. Eric Barton and Greg Biekert combining.
Greg Biekert's been all over the field the entire football game, but on first down, what they're doing, they're cheating their linebackers up the step because they know Kansas City's going to run the ball. They're taking a percentage at it that if they're going to run the ball on first down, we're going to make big plays, and both linebackers fill the void and make the play.
Looked like a hole was there just for a moment and then closed up very quickly. Now on a 2nd and 10. Bennett, this time he does find a hole as he gets to the 40-yard line, and he picks up 4 yards. Anthony Newman, first man there to make the stop. And the clock is moving with 10:50 and counting left in the 4th quarter.
And the Kansas City offense does a good job in their packages. They bring in certain packages for certain backs, and they've schemed it this way the entire season. And they're not going away from their game plan. Gunther Cunningham, offensive coordinator Jimmy Ray, they know what they're going to do. They're going to stick to their fundamentals, what they do best, and their packages they will keep with them, and they'll have success with them.
On a pitch, Richardson looking for a block. And unable to get to the marker, he's spilled out at the 45-yard line by Grady Jackson. They needed 6, and they picked up about 4, and they go the conservative route on 3rd down.
Now that's a big man right there, 6'2", 325. Are you kidding me? He's got to be 350 plus, but he can motor. Keep an eye on number 90, Grady Jackson. Go down the keyboard, down the line of scrimmage. He turns the jets on and runs down Tony Richardson. That's about a 30-yard run by a 350-pounder.
Daniel Pope had a punt blocked earlier. Darian Gordon. No fair catch signal. And an unwise move. He's brought down inside the 10, a 43-yard punt. They'll rely on their defense as they have all year. Oakland with a first down. From their own 10. Napoleon Kaufman. Brought down at the 5 by Hasty. A loss of 5 on first down.
And that is a key play by James Hasty. He left the game early with a knee injury, but he reads the play. He's playing off, but now he attacks the line of scrimmage. He's got Kaufman one-on-one and brings him down a one-on-one tackle. A perfect play by James Hasty.
Kansas City's defense, the best turnover ratio in the NFL this season at plus 20 entering play. They make big plays. They've been doing it all year. Wheatley is now in the backfield. Brown in motion on a 2nd and 15. Cannon on a dump off for Ritchie, and good pursuit once again by Kansas City. Derek Thomas, who has become a better all-around linebacker this season, not just a pass rusher.
And he proved it on that play. He had the fullback John Ritchie in coverage. John Ritchie's done a great job today of catching the ball in the backfield, making big plays for the offense. But here, Derek Thomas comes up with a big play, drops off in coverage, and sprints to the ball and makes the tackle on Ritchie one-on-one.
Raiders are trying to win in Kansas City for the first time since 1988. Fans on their feet at Arrowhead. A packed house on a 3rd and 12 for Oakland. From the 8. Gannon, the former chief, under a rush. Gannon floats one. Incomplete. Kenny Shedd was in the area, but the Kansas City defense has forced the Raiders to a 3-and-out.
And Rich Gannon's very lucky he's not sacked for a safety on this play. They run a stunt up front. Donnie Edwards comes clean, gets through the gap, and puts pressure on Rich Gannon, forcing him to throw the ball deep, but one step further, and it's a sack on Rich Gannon. It's a great job again of just getting rid of the football.
Vanover returned one earlier, 84 yards for the score. Off the foot of Aragus. Vanover ranging to his right. Trying to cut it back, middle of the field, into Oakland territory, and down at the 41. 44-yard punt, a 12-yard return for Vanover. And Kansas City trailing 35-31, but they've got great field position. A face mask has been called on Oakland. What do you do here?
I take the ball right now. You've got excellent field position. You're inside their territory. Take the football.
Want to welcome those of you who have been watching New England and Baltimore here in Kansas City. Oakland in front of the Chiefs, 35-31, with an even 8 minutes to play.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 34 of the kicking team. Our penalties decline. First down.
Face mask was called on the punt. But Kansas City, after the turn of Tamarick Vanover, will take the field position, which will be the Oakland 41. Jermaine Williams was the man called on the face mask, but it has been turned down.
And you've got great field position. Now you can operate your offense, which is pound the football with a run and go with the play-action pass. You've got a lot of time on the clock. You don't need a quick score. You can be very patient as an offense and execute your offense.
First and 10 now for Kansas City at the 41. Handoff. Mike Cloud getting his first carry of the day, and it's good for a yard up the middle. Want to welcome those of you who have been watching Cincinnati and Jacksonville. Oakland in front of Kansas City, 35-31, with under 8 minutes to play here in the fourth. The Chiefs, with a win, are in the playoffs. A loss, and they're out. Look at the game summary. It's been back and forth. Kansas City seemingly in control early in this game. Oakland came storming back. Play action. Gerback throws it deep. Wide open. Separation. Kevin Lockett. Touchdown Chiefs. Kansas City has regained the lead. Elvis Gerback with his third touchdown of the day, and this time he finds Kevin Lockett for the go-ahead score. Beats Stoyanovich the extra point. And a flag down on the point after.
Holding. Offense number 83. 10 yards. Free kick.
So they will have to do it again for the extra point, which would give KC the 3-point advantage.
Now, what happens on the play, the safeties step up on the play-action fake. They don't think Kansas City's going to go for all the marbles, but Kevin Lockett, with his speed, splits the defense. He splits the cornerback Allen and Charles Mincy, the safety, and just outruns him. Right here, splits him. Elvis Gerback puts the ball right on the money. Perfect throw, perfect catch. When you want to beat the defense, you get those safeties to step up on play-action, and you throw the ball deep.
Lonnie Johnson called on the hold on the first point after try. Stoyanovich makes good on the second attempt. Kansas City with a playoff spot on the line, leading Oakland 38-35 in the fourth. What a scene here in Arrowhead. 38-35, Chiefs leading it. Every fan inside this stadium on their feet following that Elvis Gerback touchdown pass to Kevin Lockett. So many questions about Gerback and his leadership ability. Could he bring this team to the playoffs? Could he stay healthy for an entire year? He's trying to answer those questions now. Baker on the kickoff. He's had some problems today. Kaufman mishandles it initially. Now here's Kaufman trying to nudge forward, and he's pushed back at the 23-yard line. trying to hold on here with 7:12 left in the fourth, and flags come flying from every angle. Was it Barry Sims, the left tackle?
Prior to the snap, false start, 65 offense, 5 yards, still first down.
It was.
And those backup tackles are going to play a key role in the stretch drive of this game because now it's the pressure situation. The crowd is loud. You can't hear your quarterback. You've got to concentrate on the play. It's a big-time environment. You've got backups in there. You've got to take the ball down and score to win the game. The pressure's on both of those tackles, and Barry Sims and Daryl Ashmore, to keep their composure and concentrate and protect their quarterback, Rich Gannon.
No Mo Collins out with a knee injury. No Lincoln Kennedy out with a calf injury. Can these Raiders offensive players even hear? Gannon throwing off the fingers of Wheatley. He was turned around the wrong way. And Jerome Woods came in just to make sure that it was incomplete. Stops the clock with 7:08 left in the fourth. AFC playoff picture. Jacksonville at 14-2. They had clinched home field advantage. Kansas City and Seattle right now trying to win to get in. And the Seahawks having their problems with the Jets. 19-9 now in the fourth quarter. A Kansas City victory. They've got the AFC West Championship if the Jets knock off the Seahawks. 2nd and 15. Gannon. Incomplete. Ritchie, the intended receiver. And Chester McLaughlin, the former Raider, came in to give a lick to Gannon.
The defensive front of Kansas City, it's to their advantage. Chester McLaughlin collapses the pocket. Just keep pushing the middle of the pile. He comes around on a stunt and just pushes back into quarterback Rich Gannon. But right now, as an offensive player, you cannot hear. You can't hear the player next to you. The defense has the advantage. You know the snap count, but that's not an advantage anymore because you have to move when the player next to you moves.
3rd and 15. Down. Gannon throwing. Incomplete. Kansas City's defense has once again come up big. We want to welcome those of you who've been watching the Seahawks and the Jets. 19-9, New York has defeated Seattle.
In Kansas City right now, Ian knows they win the game. They not only get to the playoffs, but they win the AFC West Division. This is the time where your offense has to take control, your offensive line. You've got to be able to run the ball, take time off the clock, and put points on the board, and it's all yours for the taking.
High punt for Aragoose. From the 42, Vanover trying to circle the outside. Runs into a crowd at the 48, and Randy Jordan was the first man there on special teams. 6-yard return. Kansas City in control of its own destiny, leading 38-35. A must-win situation for the Kansas City Chiefs as they lead Oakland 38-35 with 6:47 to play in the fourth. Ian Eagle, Mark May, our entire CBS crew on hand at Arrowhead. Handoff to Donnell Bennett going up the middle. Into Oakland territory and brought down at the 47-yard line, a gain of 4. It has been a wild game from the very start. And Kansas City can now see the light at the end of the tunnel. Miami Dolphins are now in the playoffs thanks to the Jets' victory over Seattle. So the Jets do a favor for their division rivals, the Dolphins. Now it comes down 2 teams, 1 spot available. Chiefs, Seahawks. Kansas City wins, they're in. Kansas City loses, Seattle's in. 2nd and 6. Bennett again. To the 45. A gain of 2. Greg Biekert, the tackle.
Now, and this is the part of the game where you hang your hat on your offensive line and get the ball to Tony Gonzalez. Run the ball, pound the ball, and get it to your tight end with short, intermediate passes. You don't need to stretch this defense anymore. If you want to get big runs in this defense, you spread them out and run the ball. They're going with 2 tight ends. Lonnie Johnson goes in motion. Tony Gonzalez is on the line of scrimmage. They're pounding the ball. Too many men in the box. Oakland has 8 men in the box. Spread that defense out if you want a big run.
Chiefs need first downs. This is still very much a ball game. Play action. Durback. Forced out of the pocket. Floats one in the air. A dangerous pass, and it's incomplete. Lance Johnstone applied the pressure. Gerback on the run. And the Chiefs face a fourth down.
This is a dangerous play. They fake the ball right to Donnell Bennett. Elvis Gerback wants to roll out to the left in an open boot. He can't because of the pass pressure by Lance Johnstone. No one blocks him. No one blocks Eric Martin. There are two guys out there. He's got to try to make a play to the other side of the field. He can't get there. Good pursuit by the Oakland defense.
Daniel Pope had a punt blocked earlier today. Almost had a second one blocked. Ralph Tam will snap it. Pope lays into it. Darian Gord, fair catch signal, brings it in at the 10, and that's where the Raiders will have it. Trailing Kansas City by 3. 5:10 left to play in the fourth. Handoff. Kaufman running into the line. And he picked up 2. Chester McLaughlin the tackle.
Chester McLaughlin is a load in the middle. Usually takes 2 offensive linemen to block him, but he does an outstanding job of holding up 2, allowing those linebackers and Donnie Edwards and Marcus Patton to make the tackles. But McLaughlin's had an outstanding year. Not a lot of sacks, only 2, but he had 53 quarterback pressures coming into the game, and he has another 2 today.
That was Tyrone Wheatley on the carry. 14th carry, 86 yards. Gannon wants to throw it. Steps up, under a rush and complete. Ricky Dudley, the tight end, for a huge gainer. Out across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the day, and it's good for 30 yards. And it quiets this Kansas City crowd.
It's the first time that Rich Gannon's thrown towards Ricky Dudley. He just goes right across the field to play. He's covered by Donnie Edwards. He's not big or strong enough to go by him, but Dudley, at 6'6", 255 pounds, fights through the pressure, goes across the field. Rich Gannon dumps it off to him, and he picks up huge yardage on the play.
What a tough game to figure out. Once you think one team is done, they come up with a big gainer. Wheatley struggling forward as he picks up a yard. Tom Bart with the stop. Clock is moving. 4:15 and counting left in the fourth. The Oakland Raiders with a record of 7-8 this season. Last year they were winning the close games. This year, not the case.
And it just shows a sign of a good football team that knows how to finish. When you're in close battles, you finish off your opponent. The Raiders haven't been able to do that this season.
2nd and 9 from the 43. Gannon will put it in the air. Or will he? Gannon is sacked. Back at the 36, Leslie O'Neal.
And with that sack, old Leslie O'Neal goes by LT. Lawrence Taylor right there at the end. It's Leslie O'Neal at the end. He just pinches inside. It's a palm stunt. Both end and tackle goes inside. McLaughlin outside brings him down with a one-hand lasso. And Leslie O'Neal picks up his 133rd sack of his career.
Now in 6th place in NFL history. 3rd and 15. Huge play for this Kansas City defense. Gannon stepping up. Pump fake, throwing into double coverage. It's incomplete. Tim Brown, the intended receiver. Dishman had the coverage. And Oakland will punt with 3:19 remaining.
Fantastic job of coverage, but a great play by Reggie Tongue. They're not going to let Tim Brown one-on-one all by himself, but Chris Dishman is right there fighting him to the end, but breaking on the ball. At the end of the play is Reggie Tongue knocking it away, tipping it right there along with Dishman. They're not going to let Tim Brown run free. Fighting him down the field of play is Chris Dishman. That's a good fight on Chris Dishman's back.
Arago standing at his own 22. Low snap, handles it. Vanover. From the 18, a fair catch signal. He had all kinds of room in front of it. 1st and 10 at the 18. Donnell Bennett running into a crowd, and he gets to the 20. Eric Barton, first man there, as he picks up 2. Want to go to the games? You can be there. Playoff tickets are available online through NFL.com. And Kansas City has taken a timeout. Oakland takes the timeout with 3:01 left in the fourth. Kansas City is hoping that playoff tickets will be available here at Arrowhead, because if they win the AFC West title with a win, they'll host a playoff game.
One thing about this crowd, there is not one soul in this stadium that has left. They are getting their price of admission. This is the way it should be. The end of the season, the last game here of the regular season this year, or this season, I should say, since it's a new year, and you're fighting for the playoffs. Not only the playoffs, the AFC West division, that's excitement. I remember when I played in the NFL, it would always come down to Washington, Dallas, Washington Giants. At the end of the year, packed stadium, you knew you had to win the game, the pressure was on your shoulders. Hey, if you want to win it, go out and take it, and that's what the Chiefs
11 straight losses for Oakland in Arrowhead. Kansas City having a tough time getting yardage. Bennett met by Barton. 2:57 left in the fourth. And the Raiders use another timeout with just one remaining. Here's a pivotal third down, 3rd and 8. Gerback. Flushed out. On the run. Throwing out of bounds. The Oakland Raiders defense has done what John Gruden asked them to do. And now Kansas City will be forced to punt it away.
Now, when you look at the running game of the Kansas City Chiefs, they've done an outstanding job during the day. But the last 2 series, they've gotten very conservative, running it between the tackles when there were 8 men in the box. You're not going to pick up a lot of yardage in that situation.
Daniel Polk. A high punt. Gordon, fair catch at the 38. Spot the football just shy of the 40. 2:46 on the game clock. We're in the fourth. Kansas City 38, Oakland 35. Gannon underneath to John Ritchie, barreling forward, shy of a first down. Had to get to the 50. He picked up 8. Patton and Thomas combining to make that stop. And the clock is moving with 2:30 and counting. Raiders still have 1 timeout left and the 2-minute warning.
All they have to do is get this ball in field goal position to tie this up. Rich Gannon's done an excellent job all day long, looking off down the field to play to his wide receivers and dumping the ball off to his running backs. John Ritchie's had a big day for the Oakland Raiders.
Chiefs fans getting vocal on a 2nd and 2. On the flip, it's Ritchie again. New set of downs for Oakland to work with as he's forced out of bounds at the 45. Derek Thomas forced him to the sideline. 2-minute warning. Kansas City holding on for dear life. Playoff life at stake as well. For the Kansas City Chiefs, the regular season has come down to the final 2 minutes. 38-35. Chiefs in front. Gunther Cunningham's club with a chance to finish off the year 10-6, champions of the AFC West. Don't forget the second half of the doubleheader is coming up with these matchups: Miami, Washington, San Diego, Denver, Tennessee, Pittsburgh. 1st and 10 for Oakland at the KC 45, double tight end set. Gannon. Wheatley couldn't catch it. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You talk about hungry dogs after fresh meat. Derek Thomas and Leslie O'Neal got such a start on the snap count. As soon as the ball was snapped, they were by the protectors of the Oakland Raiders and on Rich Gannon's back. He did a great job of just getting rid of the football, but the pressure that's put on by these two the entire afternoon. Leslie O'Neal in his 14th season, Derek Thomas in his 11th, both in the top 10 in all-time sacks in the NFL history.
2nd and 10. 3 receiver alignment. Gannon will throw it on the slant. Tim Brown. And a fight breaks out following. Flags come down. Looked like a pickup of 9 or 10 yards. It appears if Brown, after making the catch, just threw the football in the air, and Kansas City defensive players thought, hey, there's a loose football. Ron George scooped it up, thinking it was a fumble.
And that's a situation where the officiating crew has to step in. If it's a reception and he's down, blow the whistle, mark it dead, so guys don't injure one another. Now a personal foul penalty is called on this. And that is a big call against this team. They're moving the ball offensively.
You know emotions run high in these Raider-Chiefs games, but have to keep your cool here.
Unnecessary roughness on the offense, number 73, 15 yards, for a repeat, second down.
And that's Darrell Ashmore, who's a backup, who's only in this game because of a calf injury to Lincoln Kennedy, the starting right tackle who has played every game of his career. He's never set out with an injury until today. Gruden disgusted. Look at that facial expression. Second half of the doubleheader is coming up. Miami, Washington, San Diego, Denver, Tennessee, Pittsburgh. And John Gruden is irate. Just seems that something happens to this team late in games where they just can't pull out close victories.
And I think he's saying exactly what I said. If he was down, how come the whistle wasn't blowing to stop the play? The ball's flying around. His guys are going for it. They get in a fight after the play, and it cost his team. That pass was close to being incomplete. Nice slant pattern by Tim Brown. Comes across formation. He has the ball.
Now watch, the ball just comes out of here.
And the play should be over. If he caught the ball, the play's over. And he caught the ball.
The officials were late on that play. You get another angle of it. And there it is. It wasn't Brown that threw it out of there. It was the defender, James Hasty. So the question becomes, is this a catch or not? To me, that's a catch.
That's a catch to me also. And if that's a catch and he's down, the play should be whistled dead. It's over. The penalty at the end is probably what John Gruden is most frustrated about because it just cost his team big-time field position.
That's a 9-yard catch, which then turns into a 15-yard penalty on the personal foul. It was James Hasty that ripped the ball free and threw it out of there.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It was a completed catch.
Obviously, the coaching staffs were not questioning that because under 2 minutes to play, it's the officials that look at the replays, but that's not what Gruden wanted to hear. He wanted to hear that it's a completed pass, and the penalty should be waived off because it took place afterwards.
Absolutely. And going back to what you stated before, whenever it's a critical point of a ball game for the Oakland Raiders, they found a way to shoot themselves in the foot this year. They can't win the close games. They've missed field goals when they should have won games. They've been right there at the wire. They haven't been able to convert at the end of the game.
The officials still huddling up. Oakland was ready to go to the line of scrimmage. There's still 1:46 left on the clock. And what we assume is a 2nd and 16.
There's a lot riding on this game. Let's make sure we get this right and continue with this game.
It is 2nd and 16 for Oakland. Back in their own territory at the 49. 3-receiver set. Gannon throwing. Zach Crockett releasing out of the backfield, and he's twirled out at the 42-yard line by Chris Dishman. Second half of the doubleheader is coming up. Miami at Washington. Others will see San Diego at Denver and Tennessee at Pittsburgh. That was a gain of 8. Bringing up 3rd and 8. Obviously 4-down territory now with everything on the line.
Does Kurt Schottenheimer's defense stand pat, or do they attack the passer? He's had a lot of success this afternoon of blitzing and getting towards Rich Gannon.
Here's Gannon. Throws it upstairs. Incomplete. Tim Brown had it. Matched up with Hasty. 4th down, Oakland.
One-on-one on the outside. He's pressing, so what do? You run the fade. Tim Brown does a great job of getting to the outside. Uses the arm, rips him to the side, but James Hasty uses his body, turns around, gets a finger on the ball, but Tim Brown has a chance to catch that football. No bigger play in this game than that one right there. Huge play for the Kansas City defense.
It comes down to this. On 4th down. Chiefs fans think that the game is over, but the play was whistled dead. They ran out of time on the play clock.
Legs on the offense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
Another mistake late.
And that's what's been the Achilles heel of this Oakland Raiders football team and almost this franchise out of the entire decade of the 90s. They haven't found a way to beat an opponent when it counts. But here's the situation. You've got to get the ball inside the 35-yard line. That's all there is to it. You cannot run a short route. You can't dump it out and hope for a long run. You've got to make sure you get the ball inside the 35 so at least you get a first down.
4th and 13. Chief Gannon stepping up, throwing. Tim Brown is open. First down, Oakland. Inside the 30-yard line. They got 20 yards. What a big-time throw by Rich Gannon.
And the reason why the play is successful, Eric Warfield had Tim Brown one-on-one. He slipped on the play when Tim Brown made his plant to make the cut at the end of the route. He slipped and fell. Tim Brown was wide open.
Coming up on 1 minute to play in the 4th in a 3-point game. Gannon deflected. Incomplete. McLaughlin got a piece.
Take another look at the play previous to this where Tim Brown was one-on-one. He made his move to the outside. Eric Warfield, number 44, will be on the ground. He slips on his coverage, but luckily enough, there's a safety that comes over, Jerome Woods, and helps him on the play and downs Tim Brown, but he trips right there and slips. At the end of the play, it's Reggie Tongue that downs Tim Brown. Big play by Tim Brown staying with his route and Rich Gannon reading the route well.
If Kansas City had stopped them there, the Chiefs would be in the playoffs right now. Now it's a 2nd and 10 for Oakland. Gannon on the floater for Richie. Able to get out of bounds at the 21-yard line. He picked up 6. And the clock stops with 55 seconds to play. His 8th catch of the day, and they are certainly now moving within field goal range for Joe Nedney. Well, he missed 2 key field goals last week in the loss to San Diego. They have been searching for a consistent field goal kicker. Michael Husted could not do the job. John Gruden now banking on Nedney as you see scores around the NFL. 55 seconds left, the 3rd and 3. 3 receiver set, going for it all, and nobody home. Incomplete with 50 seconds left on the clock. And 4th down. Oakland will go for the tie.
I'm Gunther Cunningham. I make Mr. Nedney think about this kick long and hard, if he could. Here's the situation. It's the biggest kick of his career for the Oakland Raiders.
38-yard field goal attempt. The snapper is Adam True. The holder, Leo Aragus. For the tie, Nedney, 38 yards away. He's got it. 38-38. Nedney will kick it off. And here's Vanover deep to receive it. From the 7. Vanover trying to emerge through a hole. He cannot. And he's brought down to the 30-yard line by Johnny Harris. 22-yard return. Up to the minute, AFC playoff mixer. Jacksonville, home field advantage. Tennessee, great season at 12-3 as a wild card. Indianapolis has won the AFC East. Buffalo is in at 11-5. Miami is in thanks to the loss. Seattle losing earlier today to the Jets. And now Kansas City looking for that final spot. Gervais makes the connection to Tony Richardson. Keeps the length moving inside. And he's brought down to the 44. 13 yards, Darian Gordon brought him down. And a timeout with 30 seconds left. Kansas City still has 2 remaining. Pete Stoyanovich has made a 33-yarder today. He needs his offense to get about 30 more yards to put him in field goal range. This is a 4-receiver set. 30 seconds to play. Gervais, sideline throw. Drawn in by Rising. Out of bounds in Oakland territory at the 49-yard line. That's good for 8 yards, and it stops the clock.
When you need a big play in your offense, particularly in the passing offense, you go to your KG veteran, and Rising. Hasn't caught a lot of balls this season, but when you have to have it, he knows his routes. He's not going to make a mistake, and he's going to do the smart thing. Get out of bounds when he gets the football.
On 2nd and 2 in a tie ball game. Underneath the coverage, Joe Horn struggling to get to the sideline. He does have a first down at the 43. 6 yards. Back to Horn. 19 seconds left.
It's a nice job by Elvis Gerback. He's using the outside of the field, outside of the hash marks, dumping it off, giving his wide receivers an opportunity to get out of bounds after they make the reception. Joe Horn does a great job of fighting and lunging out, getting the first down and getting out of bounds.
First down from the 43. Gerback. Tony Gonzalez. They are inching the ball closer and closer to Stoyanovic's range. 5 yards. Basically the same play, different receiver. And just 4 ticks of the clock came off. 15 seconds left in the fourth.
And the Raiders are playing soft on the line of scrimmage. They're letting the wide receivers release off the line of scrimmage. They need to get close and fight them. Otherwise, Kansas City's going to continue to run the outs. But this is what I would do. I would spread them out, run a crossing pattern across the middle of the field. The middle of the field should be open. There's your big play. Get your field goal team.
On 2nd down, Gerback in the pocket. Throw. Low throw. Horn claims he's got it. Time is winding down. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Well, they put time back on the clock. There was confusion.
30 seconds. Timeout.
Chiefs were trying to determine whether or not that was a catch. The officials claimed that it was at the 29-yard line. That took a bounce.
It did. That hit the ground.
That's going to be overturned.
He did not field this cleanly. Right between his arms.
Charles Woodson with the coverage. If the play stands, it's a 46 or 47-yard field goal. And I think these officials are going to take another look at it. Raiders will use their final timeout. And the officials on the field will huddle up. And at least at first glance, this does not appear to be a catch for Joe Horn.
No, that ball hits the ground. He doesn't have possession.
Keep in mind, under 2 minutes left in the game, coaches are out of the review process. It's all up to the officials.
And Charles Woodson was lucky on the play. He didn't get called a pass interference. He was all over Joe Horn on that play.
But time continued to come off the clock.
They need to reset the clock at least 4 to 5 seconds. They didn't make a decision on the play. Time ran off the clock.
I think that's what Gunther Cunningham is talking to one of the officials about on the near sideline. If it stands, it's about a 47-yard field goal. If not, you're looking more at a 56, 57-yard attempt. And Pete Stojanovic, his career long is 59. His season long is 51. And the 59-yard field goal he kicked back in 1989. So this play is under review. We've seen a little bit of everything here today.
When he kicked it in the last century?
Yeah, basically.
Well, what a big play. I mean, it comes down to the AFC West Championship, and it comes down to instant replay. That's a tough one to call. To me, it appears he didn't have possession, and the ball hit the ground.
I see the same thing. Initially, it looks like maybe he's got his arms around it, but as he goes down to the turf, that ball is exposed. Will it be considered inconclusive, though, from the angles that we've seen?
Gunther Cunningham and the Kansas City Chiefs hope so. But this game has been a battle. What a high-scoring affair. What excitement in this game. From the beginning of the game, from the first play right out of the box. Both of these defenses are pretty good defenses, low-scoring defenses. They don't give up a lot of points, but in this game, it's been a wild, wild West shootout.
How about last year? Seattle got the short end of the stick with no instant replay. Now this year, they may benefit.
You can bet yourself one thing. Seattle has not left New York. I guarantee their plane has not left the ground out of New York to get back to Seattle. They want to find out if they're in or out of the playoffs.
Walt Coleman will make the announcement.
After reviewing the play, the ball hits the ground, the pass incomplete. Will be 3rd down and 5 from the 38-yard line.
9, the pass is incomplete. Are they going to put more time on the clock?
They are not. 6 seconds left. Each team with a timeout remaining. Do they have enough time to run one play, try to get a quick hitter to the sideline? And now Gruden wants to use a timeout, huddle up with his defense, and make sure everybody's on the same page.
It's crucial. Those 4 or 5 seconds that went off the clock, that's key to this play. With 10 or 11 seconds, they had enough time to run a play, throw it or run it, and call a timeout. Now in this situation, the officials need to do what's right.
8 seconds. 8 seconds.
They didn't get the 4 or 5 seconds. They got 2.
That should be plenty. That should be plenty enough time to run a play.
8 seconds. Thank you.
There's enough time to run a play and call a timeout. You don't want to get all the marbles here. You need to get yourself a quick 8 or 10 yards, throw the ball, immediately call timeout. You don't have to worry about running out. Throw the ball in the middle of the football field if it's open, but get yourself 8 or 10 yards and give yourself a chance.
3rd down, 8 seconds to play. Kansas City looking for quick yardage, and they get it with Joe Horn. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Exactly what they needed. And now they give their kicker, Pete Stoyanovich, an opportunity.
And Elvis Gerbeck operates this offense. But Charles Woodson, look how far he's playing off of Joe Horn. He should realize it's his 2nd year in the league. He's not a rookie anymore. You can't give that much cushion in this type of situation. They're not going to run the touchdown. They're going to run the first down.
Pete Stoyanovich. They'll have to think about it because Oakland has used a timeout. You see Stoyanovich's numbers and his resume. Best in NFL history. 40 and beyond. This one will be a 44, 45-yard attempt, depending upon where they spot the football.
If you're Pete Stoyanovich, you don't want to have eye contact with anybody. You don't want to look at the Raiders. You don't want to look at your guy. You want to look at your placement on the field. You want to make sure your holder knows exactly where it's going to be. And all you want to do, if you look up, you look at the uprights. Don't look at anything else. Concentrate, focus.
A playoff spot at stake. The division championship on the line. Pete Stoyanovich, 45-yard field goal attempt. Stoyanovich, kick is up. No good. We are headed to overtime. Kansas City had it in front of them. A win and you're in. Now OT. Hold on. Ian Eagle and Mark May with you from Kansas City, where the Chiefs and Raiders are tied at 38 as we start overtime. Early on in this game, Mark, it seemed as if Kansas City was going to cruise in for Gunther Cunningham and get that playoff spot. But John Gruden's team has battled back. When they've needed a play, they've gotten a play. You know, Gruden is really enjoying this one, knowing full well that he can spoil Kansas City's bid for a playoff spot. John Baker to kick it off. Out of bounds, 3rd time today. And this one as costly.
Kickoff out of bounds. Ball will be placed 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down at the 40.
That is unbelievable. The 3rd time in this game. I said it after the 2nd time. Put Pete Stoyanovich out there. He will not kick it deep, but he will keep it in the field of play. This is a major mistake. I'll guarantee you one thing. John Baker will be looking for a job come tomorrow. Crucial situation. All you have to do is kick it on the field of play. Doesn't matter how deep it is, keep it on the field of play. You give the opponent beautiful field position.
That young man has a lot to think about right now, putting his team's defense in a very tough spot. Wheatley getting the carry, and nowhere to go as he's shoved backwards by Donnie Edwards. It's a loss on the play of 1. Line of scrimmage was the 40. The third time today that John Baker has kicked the ball out of bounds. Former CFL kicker getting an opportunity as a kickoff specialist.
Donnie Edwards just runs right through unscathed. Both of these linebackers have done an outstanding job all afternoon filling the gap, finding that void and getting penetration into the back.
2nd and 11. Play action. Gannon. Wheatley couldn't catch it. Incomplete. He had some room to run in front of it.
The Kansas City defense is lucky. The entire afternoon, they've had a tough time covering the running backs out of the backfield. Big plays by every running back. Tyrone Wheatley, Napoleon Kaufman, John Ritchie. Rich Gannon just looks down the field to play, drops it off to his running back. They've made big plays all afternoon long. They've got to keep their linebackers on the running back out of the backfield, or they may give up another big.
3rd and 11. Ritchie and Crockett in the backfield, 2 fullbacks. Gannon. Stepping up, throwing, finds Dudley for the first down, into Kansas City territory, and out of bounds, run around the 42. 19 yards, and Gannon burning his former team once again.
Both backs, Crockett and John Ritchie, do an outstanding job of picking up the blitz, protecting Rich Gannon, giving him a chance to operate, step up in the pocket, throw the ball downfield, have good vision. If you're going to blitz the quarterback, you have to make sure someone gets a hand on him. But the offensive line stood up, the running backs picked up the blitz. That's why Rich Gannon was able to complete the pass.
Gannon, 300 yards throwing here today. Trying to go inside with Tyrone Wheatley, and no gain on the play as he was met by Eric Hicks. And now it's Oakland looking at field position and trying to get as much yardage as possible to create a scenario where Joe Nedney can win this game on the first possession of overtime.
Gunther Cunningham has ridden the back of his defense the entire season long. They've led this football team. They need to come up with a big play for Kansas City to win it, but the Oakland offense, with backup offensive linemen, have done an outstanding job of, 1, running the football, and 2, protecting quarterback Rich Gannon.
Derek Thomas. He's been all over the field. Donnie Edwards is the man that is Derek Thomas that is being looked at, number 58. Had to take a knee and is now able to run off on his own. And Ron George will step in to replace him. 3 tackles today for Thomas, going sideline to sideline.
He's been all over the field, as you said. Doing an outstanding job. Only 3 tackles, but pressure on the quarterback, disrupting some pass plays, and covering backs down the field.
On a 2nd and 10. Gannon wants to throw. Complete. Tim Brown staying on his feet and forced out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Oakland Raiders on the move, a 23-yard completion. Gunther Cunningham's team could not come through with a pressure kick. And now the Raiders will have a chance to put this one away.
Big play by Tim Brown, just a crossing pattern, gets behind the underneath zone, makes a big play. You've got to put somebody on Tim Brown. If you let him run free from the line of scrimmage, he will make a big play. You've got to get up there and fight him to make sure he's got to earn everything he gets.
Crockett in the backfield, gets the call, trying to spin off a tackler. He cannot. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Eric Hicks the stop. You know, Mark, you can't say that the Chiefs didn't have their opportunities in this game. They could have made a stop earlier in the 4th quarter on a 4th down that would have ended it. They have a chance at the end, a kick from Pete Stoyanovich, 45 yards away to win it. But now it's the Oakland Raiders that have it in front of them.
And I am right here. The first thing you want to do, protect the football. Don't worry about getting yardage. If you're running the football, protect it, because the Kansas City Chiefs defense, the first thing they're going to do is try to strip the running back of the football. Hold him up and strip him.
Running it into the line again, playing conservative, and why not? Zach Crockett getting the call. And they are going to go for the field goal right now.
And I think this is a smart play by John Gruden. It's a bad snap. He's just going to tell his holders, fall on the football. Don't take a chance. We still have another down to kick it. Let's be patient with it. Let's do it right.
A 33-yard attempt that would put Seattle in the playoffs. Joe Nedney. For the win in overtime. From 33 yards away, Nedney straight through. And the Raiders have done the unexpected. They have spoiled the Kansas City Chiefs party. Seattle is going to the playoffs as the AFC West champions. And the Kansas City Chiefs, with destiny in their own hands, unable to get it done. Throughout the 90s, the Raiders just couldn't beat the Chiefs. Well, these aren't the 90s anymore, Al Davis. Probably as satisfied as he has been in years, because the Raiders have not been part of playoff competition in quite some time. They haven't had a winning season since 1994. Haven't been to the postseason since 1993. No, they didn't get there this year. But they can take solace in the fact that they have ruined the...
Good afternoon, everybody. It is cold in Buffalo. The Los Angeles Raiders and Buffalo Bills, Rich Stadium. How cold is it? Well, the good news is the temperature at kickoff is 42. The bad news, the wind chill factor is 18. Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Jones and Todd Christensen. What effect is this going to have, not only on us, but what effect will it have on the Raiders and on the Buffalo Bills?
Well, you know, last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Raiders just seemed to absolutely lay down. A team that was 0-10, a little snow came in. It looked like they'd never seen it before. So the Raiders have to prepare not only for the Buffalo Bills, but for the elements if they get worse as the game goes on. And quite frankly, Charlie, I think they're very lucky that there's no snow here today.
And the Bills, of course, they are used to this kind of weather. Very important ball game. We say that at this time of the year. But when you look at the 8 teams in contention for the 5 playoff spots with Miami, Kansas City, and Houston leading, everybody else right now shooting for a wild card spot. Buffalo's record is 8-3, and the Raiders are 6-5.
Yeah, the Raiders absolutely have to have this game today, because if they don't, it forces them into a position where they absolutely have to win their last 4 to make the hunt.
And both ball clubs have been struggling offensively.
Yeah, they've been downright offensive. You know, the arguments here in the press and everything else with regards to Buffalo, you'd think that they were 3-8 instead of 8-3. And on the other side of the ball, the Raiders only 1 touchdown in the last 10 quarters.
And here is Art Shell, the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders. And Marv Levy is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. We talked with Jim Kelly, the quarterback of Buffalo, and you talked in the pregame show about the victoring Bills. Well, you know, they have been victoring, but this is a ball club that can get away with it.
Angers me at times when you watch film and see the reason you got sacked is because somebody decided it was their time to take a play off. That wasn't necessarily directed at his offensive lineman. Jim made the point. He says there are a lot of guys here. It's an 11-man game. Everybody has to contribute, and if one guy decides that he's not going to do it, then that ruins the whole play.
The Raiders will be kicking off for Buffalo. John Beebe, number 82, and Russell Copeland, number 85, are the return men. In the first quarter, the Raiders will have the win. And we are underway. A little good side check. And it rolls through, picked up at the 11-yard line by Russell Copeland. And he's out to around the 23. Let's look at the offense. of the Buffalo Bills. Here's an offensive line of Fina, Richard, Hall, Davis, and Ballard. And the K-gun, as a player, is down. And this is the standard offense for the Buffalo Bills. Jim Kelly, of course, with Thurman Thomas, Bill Brooks, Andre Reed, Don Beebe, with 3 wide receivers. Pete Metzelaar is the tight end. And Nate Turner, who is the sole fullback in the lineup for the Buffalo Bills, is the player who is injured on the opening kickoff.
John, that's a pretty big deal because their starting fullback, Carwell Gardner, has been out over the last 2 weeks. Nate Turner in the wedge. Try and see to the left of your screen. You see number 22 go down. Right there, you see the leg go out from under him right there at the top. Boy, that's tough. Number 21, Nate Turner, the right leg, 6'1", 255 pounds. Very much impressed the Buffalo Bill brass in the preseason. The man, despite that girth, runs the 40 in 4.55. And you can see he's disconsolate. You saw that right knee bend in. Hopefully it's just a sprain.
And one of the things that the Buffalo Bills have been talking about is going to the 2-back offense. That is with Nate Turner in with Thurman Thomas, rather than the K-gun all the time, which is Thurman Thomas, as you saw with the lineup, with the 3 wide receivers.
Well, they felt that a lot of that, Charlie, was that they were starting to get a little bit predictable. That with the 1 back there with Thurman Thomas, minus the lead blocker, was taking away a lot of his running success. You see him chuckling there with Greg Townsend. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by it.
Right, while they are still administrating to Nate Turner, let's take a look at the defense for the Los Angeles Raiders. This will be their pirate defense because the Bills will go standard now with the 3 wide, and so the Raiders will go standard basically with this defense with Howie Long, Chester McLaughlin, Harrison, Townsend, Kelly, and Winston Moss. And in the secondary, with Terry McDaniel, Lionel Washington, Errol Hoskins, Eddie Anderson, and Jordan Doyle. And there is Nate Turner. He was taken in the 6th round of the draft a year ago, being assisted from the field here.
I'm hoping that walking is a good sign. You saw the angle at which his knee was at, and of course on AstroTurf, that certainly exacerbates the problem. Now with Nate Turner out, they probably won't go to the fullback, but might go to the 2 tight end set or even the 3 wide set.
Which is exactly what they're doing. They're going to the 2 tight end set with Pete Metzelaar and Robert Awal.
Well, that would seem to me to indicate that they're determined to run the ball today. Last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, Thurman Thomas held to 25 yards. That gave their pass rushers a chance to pin their ears back and just come after Kelly. They can't afford that with the Raiders. 36 sacks, 3rd in the NFL in that category.
And Kelly drops it off to Thurman Thomas. Thomas right side. And he is taken out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So they'll pick up 7 yards on the opening play from scrimmage at a 2nd down and 3. There you see Thurman Thomas at work. Eddie Anderson making the tackle for the Los Angeles Raiders.
And they're huddling.
Thomas is 38% of the offensive plays Thurman Thomas is involved with, and 36% of the offensive yardage he is responsible for. Here is the slot on the near side. And as you said, the huddle time, which is something we simply do not see that often in the Buffalo Bills. Thurman Thomas gets the call. He's stopped by Aaron Wallace. Remember yesterday when we were talking with Jim Kelly, and I mentioned something about calling the plays and the plays coming in from the sideline and making changes and all that. You know, and the time that it takes and the difference in calling him in a huddle. He said, it's been so long since I've been in a huddle, I really can't answer your question.
That's funny. Yeah. He's certainly taking his time.
3rd down and 7 with the loss. The ball back at the 27-yard line. And the pass is incomplete to Bill Brooks. So it will be 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills. Lionel Washington had the coverage for the Raiders, and that means that Chris Moore will come in for Buffalo to kick it away.
Catchable ball, but Jim Kelly a little upset with himself. He needs to bring it back just a little bit long, but Bill Brooks, I think, feels like he probably could have made that catch. Hits him right in the hands, even though he's extended. We've seen Bill Brooks make catches like that throughout his career, both here and with the Colts.
And here is Chris Moore with a 40.4-yard average, and Tim Brown is the return man. Almost blocked. Fair catch is called for him. And then he's taken at the 33-yard line. 40 yards on the kick, no return.
Penalty flag is out.
Flag dropped at the 35-yard line. An invalid fair
Invalid
catch signal.
Number 81 on the receiver.
That was on Tim Brown. That's a good call. He just kind of waved to the side. The rule says you've got to put your hand above your head and wave it back and forth. And he didn't do that.
Well, now that's interesting because Art Shell said to us, wait a minute, this is a veteran player. Let's see where it is. It's off to the side. Right there, what it looks like there is that he wanted to wave people off, but now they've changed their mind and decided that it was a valid fair catch signal, even though his hand was not above his head. And I think that's fine. A little bit, I'm sure, certainly Buffalo wasn't fooled by it. And that's what they're beefing about now, but they let it go. So I don't understand why Whiskey and Shell want to get into it. They let him have it.
All right, the Raiders go to work at the 33, and so do the fans. And here is the rookie Greg Robinson. And he picks up almost 10 yards on the opening play. Mark Kelso and James Williams with the tackle. Let's look at the setup for the Raiders. That offensive line of Ferry, Wisniewski, Mospar, Montoya, and Bruce Wilkerson. With Jeff Hostetler, Steve Smith, Greg Robinson, Alexander Wright, Tim Brown, and Ethan Horton.
And then when they go to their third down package, they bring in Tyrone Montgomery as the third down back, and look out for the speed of Ismail and Jet.
The change around, it is a first down. And the Raiders have the ball at their own 44-yard line. A very knowledgeable crowd here at Rich Stadium. Trying to make it very difficult for Jeff Hostetler to call an audible at the line of scrimmage. And this is a stadium that holds the sound well. And the second back here is Robinson, and there's nothing there. Cornelius Bennett makes the tackle.
Cornelius Bennett may have made the tackle, but Bruce Smith's the one that makes the play. Watch him come upfield here against Gerald Perry. Just shucks him off to the side, takes him and Steve Smith, forcing him to cut back, and Bruce Smith is excited about that. Charlie, when we talked to Art Shell yesterday, he said that Bruce Smith had complained to him over the fact that they had been triple teaming him, and Art Shell's response was in effect, yeah, so?
So. In fact, we have Art Shell's keys to success in the ballgame. We have a Raider player who is shaken up, and the trainers have come out. Is that Wisniewski?
Steve Wisniewski, they're all-pro left guard. This would be a major loss, particularly in light of the fact that what they do with Bruce Smith on passing downs is they move him all over the place. So if indeed this is a problem for Wisniewski, look for Bruce Smith on passing downs to shift down over the left guard of the Raiders.
It'll be second down and 10. And talking with the Raiders yesterday, they pointed out that Wisniewski is again playing at his Pro Bowl level. Second down and 10, no score. 12.5 minutes left to go first quarter. Hostetler to throw, pressure from the backside. He's going to scramble. Nice inside-out move and heads for the sideline. Gogani has finally chased him out of bounds.
Now, Bruce Smith overran him. Watch at the top of your screen. You see that Bruce Smith is going to get past Gerald Perry, and for some reason, look at how Hostetler steps back right there. If he uses his left hand, he gets the ball, but he does it a little bit too late, and that enables Hostetler to scramble for within a yard and a half of the first down. Look at the speed he gets to the outside. This is what's frustrating for offensive tackles, and right there, he was within arm's length of Hostetler, but couldn't make the play.
Nick Bell is now into the offensive set. Third down and short. Bell gets the call. He needed, as John pointed out, a yard and a half. And Nick Bell, who's been bothered by a hamstring, a couple of ankle injuries, and shin splints, finally is healthy.
You know, even though, Charlie, that was clearly a running situation, I like that offense for the Raiders because the strength for them offensively are their three wideouts. And so when you get Jet, Ismail, Tim Brown, or Alexander Wright on the field as often as possible, that gives them the opportunity for really big plays. And with Bell back there, a 250-pounder, I think personally that could really open up their passing game.
And it is a first down.
Oh, that was close.
The report on Nate Turner, an injured right knee. We do not know whether or not he can return. And Steve Wisniewski, he was hit in the head, and he'll stay out a couple of plays. So that means he should be okay.
I was going to say, that's kind of redundant. That's hit in the head in football. What a surprise.
First down at the Buffalo 46-yard line. The Bills 3 and out. This is the first offensive thrust of the Raiders. Here is Steve Smith. That is only his 42nd carry from scrimmage this year. And Darryl Talley makes the tackle. Defensively for the Bills, their front seven of Hanson, Wright, Smith, Bennett, Patton, Verganius, and Darryl Talley, with Williams, Odoms, Jones, and Kelso in the secondary.
Looking to go to the nickel package, the birthday boy, 23 years of age, the first-round pick of the Buffalo Bills, Thomas Smith.
Second down and 10. Hostetler to throw. As pressure up the middle, steps away from him, looks back, finds a man open over the middle, and the pass is complete. He goes to Steve Smith. We mentioned a moment ago his 42nd rush. That is his 15th reception. He picks up 18 yards on the play. We talked with him yesterday. He said rushing and receiving, that goes round and round. For a fullback, blocking is always there.
Well, in this case, making the catch is what happens. You can see right there, Darryl Talley falls off of him. He was covering him all over the field, then at the last minute decided to come up in anticipation of Hostetler running the ball. Steve Smith makes the catch, but Hostetler's the one that made that play.
And the first down at the 27-yard line. And here is Robinson around the corner of the 15, and then decks at the 14-yard line. He was nailed by Henry Jones at the 14, but he'll pick up the first down en route. And he comes up limping.
Did a great job on the contain. The support for the run support from the secondary is poor. Watch the left of your screen. Nate Odoms is in motion. He cuts back to the inside on the block of Wright, and right there's nobody left. There's no cornerback out there, and Henry Jones comes up, but a little bit too late. They get the first down. You see the right ankle turned underneath of Robinson. That seems to be what the problem is right now.
And Nick Bell is back into the offensive set. And the ball carrier is Steve Smith. And Smith's going to pick up about 3 on the play. And there is Greg Robinson limping along the sideline.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
And now the update on Nate Turner with the injured right knee. He is out for the game, will not return. So mark the ball just outside the 10-yard line, and it is second down and 6. Right in motion to give is to Nick Bell. And Bell is cut down inside the 10 and about the 7-yard line by Mark Kelso.
Exact same play that they did before, and that was Kelso who makes the nice tackle, but he paid for it. Don't forget, Charlie, Nick Bell, 6'2", 252 pounds. That is a load coming up the field, and Kelso paid for it.
But already in the ballgame, we've had Nate Turner and now Mark Kelso go down for the Bills. Steve Wisniewski has gone down along with Greg Robinson for the Raiders. So we'll step aside. We have 8:23 left to go, first quarter, and we have no score. Back in a moment.
The secret of doing successful advertising lies in saying the same.
So now, coming to the sideline, here's what happened.
Watch the left knee right here. Ooh. Bang! Look at that, hit him right on the top of the head, and now you know why Mark Kelso wears that extra little piece of helmet on top of his head. He has had concussions in the past. And right there, they're asking, what stadium are you in? What time is it? You can see right there, great shot by Andy Rosenberg. The extra little piece of helmet that is a part of that because of his past head problems.
Third down and 2. The ball just outside the 6-yard line. The Raiders now with 3 wide receivers. Steve Smith is the remaining man. And Hostetler is hands off just as he was being sacked and scrambling. It's the backfield is the Rocket Ismail. Cornelius Bennett shot through.
I tell you what, Charlie, they would have been better off if Hostetler would have been sacked. It would have only been about a 3 or 4 yard loss. In this case, watch as Ismail comes around. Cornelius better just nice in, has him. That was actually very fortunate for the Raiders to get back. It wasn't a handoff, it just brushed off his shoulder pad. But then Ismail, in trying to make something happen, continues to go backwards, and that enables the pursuit to go get him.
And he loses 13 on the play. Here's the field goal attempt from the 27, an attempt of 37 yards by Jeff Jager. And this one he's got.
Charlie, I tell you, he really needed that one after last week when he missed 4 field goals against the Cincinnati Bengals. That does a lot for his confidence. Jeff Hostetler knows that. That's why he went out to shake his hand. 3-0 Raiders.
And here is the kickoff with Beebe and Copeland. The deep backs on the return. Here is Russell Copeland. Copeland tries the corner. Cannot quite get around the corner. He'll be out of bounds at around the 18-yard line. They may spot it at the 19. And here is the natural gas quarterback efficiency leader.
John Elway at the top. You can see down there 5 and 10, Kelly and Hostetler. Elway, I would guess, would have to be, if he continues, he will be the all-pro quarterback for 1993.
And now Buffalo, their second opportunity on offense, and again they come out of the huddle. The remaining back is Kenneth Davis. Kelly's pass is complete to Andre Reed.
Andre Reed, the man who in the paper today was fined for his comments about the game plan and part of the problems that they've had. Up to a great start beginning the season with 3 touchdowns, but since then has been relatively quiet. Simple little square out pattern. Moss comes over and makes the play on it.
And it'll be second down and 4 after the gain of 6. And Kenneth Davis is the ball carrier, and he is stopped at the 25-yard line.
Twice now they've tried to run the ball and very ineffective. Anthony Smith, somebody who's known for his pass rush, it really bothers him when they say that's all he can do. But, of course, in that case, nobody touches him, and Kenneth Davis cuts right back into him, and that's the reason they lost the yard.
The Bills, their second offensive opportunity, they're using the huddle. I'm so used to them with their no huddle, with their K-gun, it's like they're moving in molasses.
Well, not only that, but it doesn't give the crowd a chance to get into the game. You know, they're so used to the thing being upbeat, as you say, and fast, that the crowd has yet to really get into the game offensively for Buffalo.
Kelly throws far side, is incomplete. Thurman Thomas, the intended receiver, and Mike Jones knocked it away. So for the second time in the first quarter, it will be 3 and out for Buffalo.
Something you don't see very often. Mike Jones, great coverage, man for man there. Thurman Thomas goes up. He had his back turned, but he put his hand up, and evidently the official decided it was not face guarding. The Bills had exactly what they wanted, a linebacker on Thurman Thomas, man for man. Try didn't make the throw.
Right hand, right place, right time. Knocked it away. And here is the kick by Chris Moore. Now the Turkette waved everywhere.
He really did.
He's like a windshield wiper. I want to make sure. And we've got a motion call against Buffalo. 37 yards of the kick, no return. Now we'll check out the penalty flag.
I'd say with the field position, there's no way that the Raiders are going to take that penalty. They'll refuse it. Start at the 39-yard line. The game of field position has definitely been the Raiders.
Illegal motion, number 88 of the kicking team. The penalty is declined. First down.
So we'll take a timeout. The Raiders have a 3-0 lead with 5:41 left in the first. 1991 AFC Championship game, the Raiders and the Bills. Thurman Thomas rushed for 138 yards and 1 touchdown as the Bills destroyed the Raiders 51-3, the largest margin of victory in club history, and the win advanced the Bills to their first Super Bowl, dancing all the way.
Charlie, I was reporting on the sideline for that game, and if it's possible to say the game wasn't as close as the score would indicate. It was 41-3 at halftime. That was an ugly day.
Steve Wisniewski is back in the ballgame. Greg Robinson is back in both for the Raiders. Hostetler throws right side. Steve Smith down the sideline, shakes the tackle and goes out of bounds.
It seems ironic that here we would be talking about Steve Smith and his blocking ability, and yesterday I asked him as to why he wasn't catching the ball more. Now On 2 successive series, he has made big catches to keep drives going. He wants to go to James Jett here long, gets it to Smith, and Bennett takes a little bit too long here to get over. And Steve Smith, 245-pounder, runs right through the arm tackle and gets some extra yards for the Raiders. Bruce Smith coming inside, takes it in the face, and Wisniewski comes across and helps him out. Blocks it long after the play, and Smith doesn't appreciate it.
And we have a flag. It is a first down at the Buffalo 42-yard line.
See, it's a price of fame here with regards to Bruce Smith. He's somebody that gets double team week in and week out. I don't know why he gets upset about it, but that's the way it goes. Last week when we were in Seattle, we had Cortez Kennedy, and we talked to Wade Phillips. He says, what's a given? We're putting 2 guys on him. And that's the way it is with Bruce Smith. That's the way you have to do it.
When we talked with Art Shells, he had his keys for today's game, and he had 4 of them. Run the ball 30 times, score 20 more points, attack in the red zone, and triple team Bruce Smith.
He was only half joking about that.
With the penalty, it is first down and 15 at the Buffalo 47-yard line. Raiders lead it by a score of 3-0. And Hostetler to throw. He wants to set a screen and then come back.